Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Crossing the Ninja World, the beginning became Uchiha Obito. Chapter 1. Rain Country, Rain Nin Village. Senior, please help me ask for leave for the leaders' meeting this afternoon. A man in an orange thread mask wearing a red cloud black robe said to a blonde man who killed Matt. Hearing this, the blonde Shamat man asked suspiciously, Afei, what's the matter with you? Ahahaha, I didn't expect that Senior Didera would notice all this. There is indeed something that I have to get out of. Didera waved his hand impatiently after hearing this, and said, I understand, but I want to warn you, you are still only an intern member of our Shao organization, so you should refrain from asking for leave, lest the leader is dissatisfied with you. Understood, then thank you Senior. Afei clasped his hands together, thanked him and left quickly. After Afei ran not far from the base of the Shao organization, he slowly stopped. I just went to the night market to have a barbecue, and I can still travel through time. Afei suddenly changed his tone and cursed to himself. He was originally an ordinary social animal on Earth, named Shao Yu. After get off work, I went to the night market to eat skewers, drank a few caddies of draft beer and accidentally fell asleep, and when I woke up, I traveled to this Naruto world. And he also traveled through Obito Uchiha, who became one of the behind-the-scenes bosses. After just coming to Naruto world these few days, Shao Yu couldn't accept it at first. There are still my parents on the other side of the earth, but I can't go back right now, and I will be safe when I come, so I can only temporarily accept my identity as Obito. Although I don't know why he crossed over to Obito, but according to the memory of the original body, now is the timeline when the main line of Naruto started. At this time, both Naruto and Urzuzi had just graduated from Ninja Academy, and Kakashi had just become the leader of the 7th class. The ninja world now looks peaceful on the surface. But Obito knew that Orochimaru would launch the Konoha destruction plan next. And the Akatsuki organization will also be exposed to the vision of the major ninja villages. Pain asked the members of Akatsuki's organization to catch the tailed beast's Jinchuriki to extract the tailed beast from them. I also have Uchiha Madara behind the scenes. There is also a highway who likes to dig out his heart, and his old mother Kagaya Otsutsuki. According to the plot, Obito will die in the hands of Kagaya in the end, and Obito will definitely not accept this. And if Obito escapes now, not to mention whether the Akatsuki organization will arrest him, and his heart has been sealed with a heart curse by Uchiha Madara. If he doesn't follow Madara's plan, Heizi will kill him. When Obito was in a state of confusion, a voice suddenly appeared in his mind. Ding! The emotional system is bound to the host. The host's behavior only needs to make others feel emotional, and then you can harvest emotional points, which can be used to draw prizes for all things in the world. Here we come, the standard system for travelers is here. Obito's eyes lit up when he heard the voice in his head. I immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Now that he has awakened the system, these problems should not be a problem in the future. System, is there a gift package for beginners? Obito also read a lot of web articles in his previous life, so he tried to ask the system. The novice gift package has been sent, please check with the host. Obito was not disappointed, the system gave him a gift pack for beginners. Open. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 100 million ninja copper coins. Congratulations to the host for obtaining points. Points can be used to draw prizes. Points can be drawn once, and 10 consecutive draws will win a guaranteed reward. Ah, why is this routine so familiar? Then Obito remembered, isn't this the Naruto mobile game routine that he played before? For ninja recruitment, don't even think of high-tech ninja fragments without 10 consecutive draws. System, 10 consecutive draws. Obito didn't talk nonsense, and used up all his points in one go. According to his experience in playing mobile games for many years, single draws will only waste points, and in the end he won't get any good things. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a roll of toilet paper. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 10 copper coins. Congratulations to the host for getting 100 gold coins. As the results of the lottery were revealed one by one, Obito's face became darker and darker under the mask. This dog system is really a profiteer, it's a piece of crap. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the amount of chakra, 100 Kakashi chakra. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the guaranteed reward, immortality. Obito's expression slowly improved after seeing the last two rewards. As we all know, Kakashi is a unit of measurement for chakra, and 100 Kakashi has a lot of chakra. Although it is incomparable with the chakra of Uzumaki Naruto and Senjutsu, it has already increased Obito's chakra by a lot. In this way, if you use some expensive forbidden techniques in the future, you will not suffer from kidney deficiency like Kakashi. And the other immortal body is very useful. What Obito is most worried about now is his personal safety. Now that he has obtained the same immortal body as Hidan, plus he has also transplanted Hashirama cells, which has a terrifying regenerative ability. I am afraid that no one in the ninja world will be able to kill him again. As for Uchiha Madara's curse seal, it's useless to him now. Since this is the case, Obito is now planning to turn his face against Highway. After all, he doesn't want to carry out any unlimited monthly reading plan. In fact, both Obito and Uchiha Madara were deceived by Heizi, and that was just a plan by Heizi, a filial son, to resurrect Otsutsuki Kagaya. And the Obito who believed in this plan is the clown, and Uchiha Madara, who is blacked out, is the big clown. The brain circuit of Obito in the original book is also very strange. If it is to be with Lin, then there is no need to enter the illusion, and just reincarnate from the soil and then reincarnate with the natural art of reincarnation. If he is desperate for the ninja system, then his plan to let all mankind enter the illusion is not as good as Nagato's tail beast deterrence plan. After all, entering the environment is just self-deception, and Nagato's approach may really make the 5 major countries not dare to start a war due to the combat power of the tailed beast. Whether it was the end of the war between Senjutsu in the Warring States period and the establishment of Ninja Village, or the peace established by Naruto Sasuke after the Fourth World War. In essence, it is the suppression of absolute combat power. After Zhu Jian died, the war broke out again. If Naruto and Sasuke die one day, the major ninja villages will fall into war again. But before he broke with Highway, Obito planned to slap Highway's wool again, and he already had a plan in his heart. As for whether to revive Lin later, Obito can really feel the original body's love for Lin. But since Obito has awakened the system, he still intends to become the pinnacle of the ninja world before talking about other things. After all, his current strength is just average Kage level, which is not enough to look at in the next 4 battles and blogger biography. Divine Power. Obito activated his kaleidoscope Sharingan ninjutsu, and saw the space around his body twist for a while, and then he disappeared in place. When Obito's body reappeared, he had already arrived at a secret underground base. Obito looked up, only to see the dead body of a dry old man in front of him. The same Shamat hairstyle is exactly the legendary ninja Shira, who was once as famous as the ninja god Senjutsu, Madara Uchiha. There are many tubes stuck in Uchiha Madara's withered body, which originally led to the huge monster heretic golem behind him. The former Madara was able to survive by relying on the huge vitality delivered to him by the golem of the heretics. Later, he set up the situation during the Third World War, and tricked Obito into his own camp to work for him, and then he pulled out the pipe himself and died completely. Obito, why are you here? Behind Obito, a figure emerged from the ground. Also wearing the red cloud xiaopao, half of his face is black and half white, and there is a special effect of winding reeds. The length is really hell. Obito cursed secretly in his heart. No, I'm back to help Madara with one thing. Obito said, pretending to be calm. Help me with something. Highway was a little puzzled. He lied that it was Madara's will. What did Madara only tell Obito but he didn't know? Does Nagato know that you have left your Renin village? Highway said with some displeasure. Now that you have just joined the Akatsuki organization, it will be troublesome if you make him suspicious, and it will affect our future plans. Don't worry, Ju, I have already asked Deidara to ask for leave for me, Nagato will not doubt it. Obito said and waved to Hei's trick, and said, come with me, Madara didn't let me keep this matter from you. Hearing this, the doubts in Hei Ju's heart were reduced a lot. He quickly walked up to Obito, and asked, what's the matter? Obito turned to face Uchiha Madara's withered body, and said, Z, you saw Madara's body. Yeah, isn't Madara's body here all the time? What's the matter? Second monk Highway Zhang was puzzled as to what kind of medicine was sold in the Obito gourd today. Fire escape, the fire is extinguished. Obito slowly took off his mask under his suspicious eyes, revealing a half-disfigured face. Fire escape. The fire is extinguished. Obito suddenly formed seals at an extremely fast speed, and then spewed out a large amount of flames from his mouth. The flames like a sea of fire quickly engulfed Madara's body, burning Madara's body to ashes in an instant. The flames like a sea of fire spread rapidly, and soon the entire base was ablaze. Highway was stunned by Obito's sudden fire, and when he came back to his senses, Madara's ashes floated onto his face with the scorching fire waves. Obito, I'll kill you. It was only then that Heiju realized what Obito had done, and looked at Obito next to him with a ferocious face. Ding. The host gets 5 black absolute shock emotion value. Highway has contributed a lot of emotional value to me. Obito was very satisfied. According to Obito's estimation, the bigger the thing he does, the more emotion the other party will have, and the more emotional value he will harvest. Just now, he performed the coquettish manipulation of the burnt body in front of Heiju, and it is estimated that Heiju's cerebral thrombosis has been caused by him for 10 years. Obito, why are you doing this? Heiju roared at Obito. Absolutely, this is exactly the task that Madara entrusted to me. Obito's face was calm, and he said solemnly, before Madara died, he told me that he hoped that he could be buried in the ground. If his body still exists in the world, it may be used by some people with ulterior motives, such as the Orochimaru who defected from Akatsuki. He doesn't want him to be desecrated after death, so please let me cremate him. You fart. Congratulations to the host for gaining 5,000 black Juanger mood points. When Highway heard Obito's nonsense, his blood pressure immediately rose. Nepenthes. Highway directly attacked Obito, and the surrounding Baiju instantly melted into a pitcher plant and attacked Obito. Virtualization. Obito directly activated the time-space ninjutsu of his kaleidoscope Sharingan. Obito's entire body became illusory. Ju's attack penetrated his illusory body, but did not cause any harm to him. Obito, you fool, how dare you betray Madara, I will kill you. Highway gritted his teeth and said, and then Highway made a seal with his hands, trying to detonate the curse seal of Obito's heart to kill Obito. The pain of the heart explosion made Obito's brows tighten instantly. But in the end, under Highway's shocked gaze, Obito was fine, but a big hole was blown out of his heart. How is this possible? Why don't you die without your heart? Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 black absolute shock emotion points. Obito watched Highway's reaction with satisfaction, and he had already gathered a lot of wool from Highway, so he could retreat. Ju, you are really the best liar in the ninja world. With a mocking smile, you fool, Highway frowned, not knowing why Obito said that suddenly. Even Madara is played around by you, it's not a pity, I won't be your pawn willingly. Obito continued, you took so much pains to resurrect your mother Kagaya Otsutsuki. You instigated Madara Uchiha's decisive battle with Senju Hashirama, assisted Madara to use the Hashirama cells contained in his mouth to open the eyes of reincarnation, modified the information left by the Six-Path Sage Nenga Shrine, and led the way to save the Uchiha clan to Infinity Tsukiyomi. It took so long time and energy. You really deserve to be the #1 filial son in the ninja world. What? How did you know? Highway's pupils dilated after hearing Obito's words, and he was so shocked that he couldn't speak. What Obito said just now had a greater impact on him than when he raised Uchiha Madara's ashes. Highway has always been confident, his plan is seamless, so many reincarnations of Indra and Asura have not been discovered. How did this always stunned Uchiha Obito discover? Congratulations to the host for obtaining 6 black absolute shock emotion points. What a filial son. He was even more shocked when he heard the news about his mother than before. Obito praised Highway from the bottom of his heart. Then, Mr. Highway, goodbye. I hope you can find new chess pieces to help you realize your plan. I sincerely hope that Itsuki Kagaya can be resurrected by you. Obito's words are indeed from the heart. In order to achieve his goal of standing at the top of the ninja world, he doesn't want the future life to be too boring. Afterwards, Obito activated Kamui again, and his body distorted and disappeared under the gazes of the white and black zealots. Obito. Highway's eyes were so angry that it seemed that he was about to spew out flames. His 1,000-year-old plan had a chance to be realized. Who knew that it would be ruined by a Uchiha kid? Obito Uchiha, next time we meet, I will take your life. Highway's incompetent and furious voice echoed underground. System, perform a 10 consecutive draw. Obito commanded the system in the Kamui space. 10 consecutive draws have been carried out. Congratulations to the host for getting an old Nokia mobile phone. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 100 detonating symbols. Congratulations to the host for getting an old Nokia mobile phone. Congratulations to the host for getting an old Nokia mobile phone. Congratulations to the host for getting an old Nokia mobile phone. Congratulations to the host for getting an old Nokia mobile phone. Congratulations to the host for getting a laptop. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 100 kunai roots. Congratulations to the host for getting the guaranteed reward. Don't be a god ninjutsu engine once. Obito got 7 Nokias with a black face this time, and the only one that is useful is this other Tenjin ninjutsu engine. System, can you use this laptop? There is no network cable here, my friend Nokia mobile phone, can you get through without a signal here? The host can rest assured that the things produced by the system can ignore the dimensional restrictions, and can be used without the need for a network cable like Blue Star. Bitension is Uchiha Shisui's kaleidoscope sharing eye unique pupil technique. You can forcibly change the opponent's will once. For Obito, it can be used to save lives in times of crisis, or it can be used to recruit others as subordinates. In fact, many conspiracy theorists in the previous life said that the reason why Itachi would inherit Shisui's peaceful will without hesitation is because Shisui launched another god against Itachi. Next, Obito is going to persuade Nagato to join his camp. Originally, he still suffered from the fact that he didn't have a different mouth like Naruto, but now there is no need to worry. After Obito left the Kamui space, he appeared directly in Urin village. Donning his orange mask again, Obito doesn't want to reveal his identity just yet. Senior, I'm back. Obito imitated a Faye's unscrupulous tone and opened the door. Deidara was tinkering with his clay bomb on the ground. Seeing that his second-hand partner came back, Deidara casually said, you can count yourself back. Pain will call us for a meeting in the afternoon. You should go to prepare first. I am studying my art. Ah, Senior Deidara, I passed Yenian village just now, but I heard some great news. Obito said suddenly in a tone of astonishment. Hearing this, Deidara stopped pinching the clay in his hand, turned his head and asked, what news did you hear? Deidara didn't care much about other ninja villages, but for Yenian village, after all, it was the village where Deidara grew up, and Tsuchikage Onoki was still his master. Oh, it's not really important news. It's better not to bother seniors to study art. Obito scratched the back of his head, yawned perfunctorily. Stop talking nonsense and speak quickly. Deidara threatened impatiently. Otherwise I'll blow you up with a clay bomb. Actually, it's not a big deal. I just heard from the residents of Yenian village that Tsuchikage Onogi is planning to marry his granddaughter Kuroto to a ninja from another village. What? Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Deidara's anger value. Deidara was not calm when he heard this, and Haito was also his childhood sweetheart since he was a child. Although he is now a traitor in Yenian village, he still couldn't accept Haito's marriage to someone else for a while. Yes, Senior Deidara, I heard that Anamu will send Haito to the outer village in the next 2 days. Senior Deidara, you don't want Haito to marry someone else, do you? Obito continued to talk about the fire. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 2 Deidara's anger value. Deidara grabbed Obito's clothes and asked, Afei, you kid didn't lie to me, did you? Obito hurriedly yelled his innocence, and said, Senior, how dare I lie to you about this kind of thing, don't you know after you go to Yenian village? After hearing this, Deidara squeezed out his own clay bird without saying a word, and said to Obito, please help me in pain to ask for leave for the meeting in the afternoon. I'm going to blow up the old man Onoki's head. After speaking, Deidara jumped on the clay bird and flew away. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 5,000 Deidara emotional points. Obito didn't expect that his casual nonsense made Deidara rush to Yenian village in a hurry. According to Onoki's temper, Deidara will definitely be kept by Onoki and imprisoned in Yenian village. I'm sorry, Senior, I can only wrong you for the sake of me getting more wool. He smiled with a dark belly. Go to Itachi after negotiating with Pain. It should not use other gods to win Itachi. The reason why Obito planned this in his heart was because Obito felt that Itachi was easier to instigate rebellion, so Itachi didn't really join the Akatsuki organization in the first place. Itachi's joining the Akatsuki organization is just an undercover mission for Sandai and Danzo. It's ridiculous to say that it was Danzo and Sandai who killed the Uchiha clan, yet Itachi was loyal to them. It can only be said that Itachi's pursuit of peace in the village is already a morbid pursuit. However, Obito understands that real peace can never be won by the sacrifice of a certain clan or a coup d'état, it must be fought. While thinking, Obito came to Pain's office. After knocking on the door, a cold voice came from inside, "Come in." Pain Tiandao sat on the chair in front of the desk, and a tall female ninja standing beside him was Xiaonan. Tiandao saw Obito coming in, and asked indifferently, "Afei, you are not staying with Dedela, what are you doing here?" Obito laughed a few times with a rather villainous temperament, looking at Afei who suddenly changed his temperament in front of him. Tiandao and Xiaonan were full of vigilance. "Pain, no, it's more appropriate to call you Nagato." Hearing this, Tiandao and Xiaonan's faces were instantly filled with murderous intent. Congratulations to the host for gaining 2 Nagato and Conan's shocked emotion points. Tiandao's cold voice sounded. "Tell me, who are you and what is your purpose, and I will let you die quickly." "Ha ha ha, I'm nobody, I'm just someone who came to tell you the truth." "Nagato, you are really ridiculous. You have been used by others without realizing it, and you have come to this point for a lie." Congratulations to the host for obtaining Nagato's anger emotion value of 5,000. Xiaonan's pretty face was immediately covered with frost, her body began to gradually turn into pieces of paper, and the ninjutsu of Shiki paper dance was activated. Seeing Xiaonan who was ready to attack him at any time, Obito made his body blur again, and then he was ready to launch other gods at any time. It's Tendo standing here, not Nagato, so Obito doesn't want to launch another Tenjin on a corpse. "Nagato, do you really think that the reincarnation you use is your own?" The question of bringing soil made Tiandao feel a little doubtful. "Although I don't know why you know my true identity, my reincarnation eyes are my birthright." "No, your samsara eye is the samsara eye that you discovered suddenly after your parents died when you were young, right?" Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Nagato shock mood points. "Who are you and why do you know this?" Pain's body was suspended, and he asked in a cold voice. "It's a long story. I suggest you calm down first. I'll show you something." Then Obito took out the laptop from his time-space under the suspicious gazes of Tiandao and Xiaonan. "Sit down here first, it's not too late to start after reading." Obito found Shueisha's Naruto anime, and clicked on the plot about Nagato's memories. Tiandao and Xiaonan were also very confused when they saw that Obito took out something they had never seen before, but they looked at each other and walked over to see what Obito showed them. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 5,000 Nagato's shock emotion value. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Nagato's sad emotions. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 5,000 Xiaonan's shock emotion value. There are several episodes of Nagato's memoirs, including their apprenticeship to Jiraiya and the death of Yahiko later. During this period, Nagato and Conan's mood swings have been great, and they have contributed a lot to Obito. Looks like it's time for another wave of 10 consecutive draws. Obito secretly rejoiced. After reading it, Tiandao remained expressionless because it was a corpse, but Nagato's mood swings were still very big. Xiaonan on the side had mixed emotions in his eyes, and asked, "What are you, and why do you know our past?" Obito explained, "This is electronic technology, you can't touch it, and you don't understand it." "Then you guys look at this again." Obito played the part of Naruto's mouth escaping Nagato again. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Nagato shock mood points. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Nagato's embarrassment value of 1. After Nagato saw it, he was a lot more wary of this Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. The opponent not only has good strength, but also broke the painting style of Pain Tiandaochao. Especially when Tien Daochao yelled the sentence, "My pain is above yours," in a distorted painting style. Nagato's embarrassing toes were all scratched out. What scares him even more is that the other party's eloquence is really good, and all the beliefs that he has insisted on for more than 10 years have collapsed, and finally he used the heretical reincarnation natural technique to end his own life. This is the first time Nagato has seen such a huge change in his will in a short period of time with just words. Shishui's Byationzui still has a time limit, but Naruto's Byationzui has no time limit and can be used indefinitely, which is really terrifying. Next in the anime, Obito appeared on the stage. Obito claimed to be Uchiha Madara, and said that Nagato's reincarnation eyes were not his own. His reincarnation eyes were arranged for him after his parents died. Then he told the laundered Xiaonan that he wanted to take the reincarnation eye from Nagato's corpse, and then started a hard fight with Xiaonan. Seeing this, Tiandao and Xiaonan looked at Obito with a strong killing intent in their eyes. Leaving aside whether the identity of this guy who calls himself Uchiha Madara is true, the two wanted to kill him just because he wanted to take Nagato Samsaragan. Congratulations to the host for gaining 2 Nagato anger mood points. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 2 Xiaonan's anger emotion value. In the end, the animation played until Konan released million detonating symbols, but Obito opened a Zanaki, and Konan was killed by Obito, and it was over. In the end, Jiraiya and his 3 apprentices all died in Wonquan. Whoever you are, go die now. The voice of Tiandao's wrath sounded. Shen Luo Tianzheng. With the Tao of Heaven as the center, a huge repulsive force was generated, and the strong air flow hit Obito. I didn't expect it to have the opposite effect. Obito sighed. He didn't expect Nagato to be so impatient. He originally wanted to explain to Nagato that he was also deceived by Madara, and drew Nagato to fight against the future Kagaya Itsuki with him. The airflow of Shinluo Tianzheng hit Obito's body and just passed through, and Obito has been turned on and blurred. Even if there is no void, Obito is now immortal and cannot die at all. Since you're impatient, I won't play with you. After Obito finished speaking, he activated the pupil skill Kamui of his Kaleidoscope Sharingan. When you were watching the computer just now, I have been perceiving the breath of the golem of the heretics. Obito naturally kept back. Nagato's body is now with the golem of the outsider, relying on the vitality of the golem of the outsider to survive until now. Not good. After hearing what he said, Tiandao knew that he was going to get close to his own body. Immediately reach out and grab it. Vientian Tianyan. It's a pity that Obito's body has escaped into the divine power space, and Tiandao caught a loneliness. Then the coordinates of Obito's Kamui space were fixed at the golem of the outer way, and when his body came out of the space of Kamui again, he had already come to the deep underground of Nagato and the golem of the outer way. Don't be a god. Without further ado, Obito took out the Bitenjin kaleidoscope written by the system from the Kamui space, and faced the dazed Nagato. It was a Bitenjin. Nagato, absolutely surrender to me. Obito gave Nagato the command to modify his will. A little struggle flashed in Nagato's eyes, but finally calmed down gradually. Nagato looked at Obito respectfully, and said, I'm waiting for your orders, my lord. Obito nodded in satisfaction. With the effect of other gods, Obito naturally did not doubt that Nagato would rebel. At this time, Tiandao and Xiaonan came late. Since Tiandao was not controlled by Nagato, he just stood there and stopped doing anything. Xiaonan looked at Nagato and pained Tiandao who were not right, and asked angrily, what did you do to Nagato? I didn't do anything, just let him take orders from me in the future. Obito is light and authentic. Hearing this, Xiaonan naturally looked at Nagato in disbelief. Did you use illusion on Nagato? That's right, it's just that Hai is generally much more powerful in illusion, and you will never be able to solve it. To be honest with Obito, there is currently no way for other gods to untie it, unless there is another god to cancel each other out. Then go to die. Konan launched Shiki Paper Dance. His body floated in the air and turned into pieces of paper, and the pieces of paper around his body turned into spears and pointed cones to shoot at Obito. What Xiaonan didn't expect was that Tiandao's body stood in front of Obito. Shen Luo Tianzheng. Xiaonan's offensive was directly blocked by Tiandao manipulated by Nagato. Nagato, you. Konan looked at Nagato in disbelief. Xiaonan, I will not allow you to attack adults. A trace of struggle flashed in Nagato's eyes, but he still said in an unquestionable tone. Konan looked at the decisive Nagato, and only then was he sure that Nagato had been controlled by Obito. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Xiaonan's anger emotion value. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Xiaonan's shock emotion value. Xiaonan looked at the unfamiliar Nagato in front of him, and asked in a slightly hoarse voice, Nagato, do you want to do something to me? Nagato frowned, and said, Xiaonan, as long as you don't hurt sir, I will naturally not attack you. You fool, what the hell are you trying to do? Conan questioned Obito angrily. Calm down first, let me declare myself first, I am not a big villain, and I don't want to hurt you, on the contrary, I am here to help you realize your dream of peace. Obito said, peace, snatch the eye of reincarnation and control Nagato. Is this what you mean by peace? Xiaonan sneered. Then you snatched the tailed beast, didn't you also harm a lot of ninja villages? Not to be outdone, Obito said, it is absolutely impossible to achieve real peace without strong means. Besides, I don't have the idea of snatching Nagato's reincarnation now. What you played on the computer just now can be regarded as what happened in the future, and I would never do that if I already knew. It was you and Nagato who shot at me indiscriminately, so I can't use this method to control him. Hearing Obito's words, Xiaonan was speechless, because he and Nagato were also people who would do anything to achieve peace, and they had nothing to say now that their skills were inferior to others. What exactly do you want? Xiaonan asked. It's very simple. I need you and Nagato to do things for me. As long as you don't betray me, I won't make it difficult for you. In the end, I will realize the peace in the ninja world you have been longing for. But, when Obito said this, a cold light flashed in his eyes. If you have the idea of betraying me, I will let you and Nagato kill each other. After all, I am not a devil. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 2 Xiaonan's anger emotion value. You, shameless. Xiaonan gritted his teeth and said, but there was nothing he could do. You don't have to try to escape from the Akatsuki organization. After all, this place is the painstaking effort of you and Nagato, and you don't want Nagato and the Akatsuki organization to chase you down, do you? Hearing Obito's words, Xiaonan was extremely helpless in his heart, he could only let out a long sigh of relief, and said, I see, I will obey your orders. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Xiaonan's resentment. This girl still wants to murder me. Obito looked helplessly at Xiaonan with a gloomy face, knowing that the other party must have great resentment towards him in his heart. I won't participate in the meeting organized by Xiao Xiao. Don't expose my identity, both of you. Obito ordered. By the way, it's okay to tell you my name. My name is Uchiha Obito. Don't tell others this name. Understood. Conan and Nagato replied. After all, Obito escaped into the Kamui space and disappeared. Obito Uchiha, right, I remember you. I'll kill you when I find a way to wake up Nagato. Xiaonan secretly calculated in his heart. Obito came to the Shinwei space and checked his system points, 17 points. System, let's do 10 consecutive draws. Obito didn't hesitate to ask Tongzi to make a big one. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Psychic Beast, Ninja Parker. Congratulations to the host for getting Sasuke's weapon Kusanagi. Congratulations to the host for getting 100 gold coins. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 million copper coins. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a 3-piece underwear set. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward, Namikaze Minato, reincarnation of the Dirty Earth. It's a big deal this time. The Obito watching system directly gave the 4th generation of Dirty Earth, calling it awesome. System, can the Namikaze Minato dirt reincarnation you released remove the dirt reincarnation form? Obito asked worriedly, if the 4th generation finds a way to break the reincarnation of the dirty soil after it comes out, I am afraid that it will be the first time to settle the score with itself. That's not true. As long as the host doesn't release the control of the ninja produced by the system, there is no way to release the control of the host by itself. That's good. For the first time, Obito felt that the system was quite conscientious. Oh, in a puff of smoke, the system shipped the 4th generation of Dirty Earth. Hey, where is this? Am I dead? After Minato appeared, he looked at the Kamui space he was in, and was puzzled. Then Minato looked at the masked man in front of him, and asked a little vigilantly, did you summon me? What's your purpose? Minato will never forget that on the day his wife gave birth, a masked man summoned 9 tails to harm Konoha village. It's just that it's a tiger mask. Obito looked at Minato with complicated eyes, and slowly took off his mask. Teacher, I summoned you with the technique of reincarnation from the dirt. You are Minato looked at Obito's disfigured face full of doubts, and immediately asked incredulously, "Are you Obito?" "It's me, Minato-sensei." Hearing Obito's words, Minato widened his eyes and said, "How is this possible? Didn't you die back then? After I was crushed by a boulder, I survived by luck." Obito said, "Then why haven't you returned to Konoha all these years? Kakashi and Rin are very..." Speaking of which, Minato couldn't continue. How should he tell Obito that Lin is dead? "Teacher, I went back to Konoha. Lin is dead, I know." Obito still said calmly, "So you know." Minato let out a long sigh, and was about to say something when he recalled Obito's words just now. "You just said that you have been to Konoha before. Obito, could it be that masked man from the Nine Tails Rebellion is you?" Minato stared at Obito steadfastly, and the more he looked at it, the more he felt that he was very similar to the masculinity in the tiger mask that night. "Yes, teacher, I was the one who released Nine Tails that night and attacked you and Mrs. Kushina," Obito confessed. It's a pity that Minato is a dead person now, otherwise Obito must have contributed a lot of emotional value. "Why, Obito, you resent me? I can understand why you attacked Muya village, there are still many innocent villagers there," Minato said angrily. Even though Minato is a very good-tempered person, seeing Obito in front of him attacking Konoha and causing so many casualties, he couldn't help but get angry. "Teacher, let's take a look at this." Obito took out his laptop and played the Shueisha Hokage anime again for Minato. It's just that the episodes shown to Minato this time are about being rescued by Madara and subdued by Madara's design, and how Madara's design made Kakashi have to kill Rin. Minato looked fascinated. It was the first time he had seen such a magical thing, even more magical than the crystal ball used by the third generation of voyeurs. "As for why I did those things before, that's why. If there are no accidents, I will also be used by Madara with all my heart," Obito said. "But I got this magical laptop by accident, and knowing that the previous things were designed by Uchiha Madara, I will naturally not be used by him." Minato frowned after hearing Obito's words, and said, "Where is Uchiha Madara now? Does he have other conspiracy?" "He's gone," Obito said. "I've burned him to ashes, and now there is absolutely no hope of resurrection." Obito continued to argue. "Teacher, I know that you resent me for killing you and Mrs. Kushina. I am deeply sorry for this. After I have achieved peace in the ninja world, I will naturally resurrect you too. I can't blame you all. I didn't protect you and Lin well back then, it was my negligence as a teacher." Minato itself is also a bit of a bad guy, and not too much has been pursued on this point. "Then what are your plans now? Obito, what is the purpose of reincarnating me?" Obito thought in his heart that his predecessor was really sorry for the Minato couple, so he decided to do something for them. "Teacher, come and see this again." Obito adjusted the number of episodes of Naruto anime to the beginning, so Minato started to catch up on anime. Minato watched Naruto being insulted and excluded by the villagers in the first episode, hated by the students, and Naruto's life was so miserable, he couldn't help but feel puzzled. "It shouldn't be. The third generation promised me and Kushina that they will take good care of Naruto, and there are so many inheritances I left him, why are they gone?" Obito didn't speak, just let Minato watch the episode quietly. The more Minato looked, the darker his face became. Naruto lived in such an environment since he was a child, and anyone would be psychotic, but Naruto was just a little naughty. Finally, when Iruka put the forehead protector on Naruto's head, seeing Naruto's smile when he was recognized, Minato finally couldn't help but shed tears. Obito saw that the effect was good, so he turned off the laptop. Looking at Minato with tears streaming down his face, Obito said, "Teacher, I know you have doubts about the picture above. I don't restrict your freedom. You can go to Muya village to see your son by yourself. I won't set up obstacles or traps for you. This can be regarded as my compensation for you and your wife." Minato didn't speak, just nodded. Then Obito opened the Kamui space, and he and Minato appeared on the outskirts of Konoha village. "You can go and see your son now." Obito said so. Then the control of the water gate was released. Minato gave Obito a complicated look, and then a flying thunder god disappeared in place. Leaf Village. At this time, the students of Ninja Academy are participating in the graduation assessment. Minato saw his son Naruto at a glance. The yellow hedgehog head like his was really conspicuous. Next, Naruto Uzumaki. Iruka read out Naruto's name, and then Naruto lived up to everyone's expectations and performed a scene where Naruto pouted his back. Ha ha ha. The students below all started to roar with laughter. A series of harsh and mocking words aimed at Naruto. Naruto broke his defenses. Today was really unlucky, not to mention that his first kiss was given to Sasuke, and such a situation also appeared in the graduation examination. Failed. Iruka shook his head helplessly. Iruka-sensei, you don't have to be so harsh on Naruto. Mizuki said hypocritically. No, a failure is a failure. Iruka said firmly. Seeing this, Minato, who had been hiding, had a cold look in his eyes. Seeing this, he almost believed that what was playing on Obito's laptop was true. In the end, Naruto was dejected and got a failing grade. After school, Mizuki watched the depressed Naruto walk out of the school alone, and decided to implement the plan to lure Naruto to steal the forbidden books. Minato in the dark also saw this scene, and his heart was already murdered. This Mizuki not only wants to be a traitor, but also wants to make his own son his pawn, which is unforgivable in Minato's heart. When almost all the students in the school were gone, Mizuki was trying to pretend to be concerned and approached Naruto, who had gone away. At this moment, he suddenly felt a strong threat. Mizuki turned his head instinctively, and a golden figure suddenly appeared behind him, and then directly kicked him at the speed of light. Mizuki was directly kicked away by Mizuman's flying kick, and Mizuki once again turned into a flash of lightning and caught up with Mizuki in midair, and then he kicked him on the head again. Mizuki flew towards the grove next to the school like a sandbag, hit the tree heavily with his body, and couldn't die anymore. In Minato's opinion, the mere strength of a Chunin is not enough for him to use the spiral pill, and he will be killed by kicking at the speed of light with 2 feet. Then Minato followed Naruto back home. At this time, Naruto looked curiously at a shop selling masks, but the boss saw that Naruto was outside the door, and directly smashed the mask hanging on the wall on Naruto's face heavily. At the same time, he cursed angrily. Get out of here, you demon fox gave you this mask for nothing, it's really bad luck. Let's go. It's not the first time Naruto has encountered this kind of thing. He glared at the boss angrily and left. When Minato saw this scene, he was extremely angry, but he was not ready to do anything to a civilian. Then Naruto went to buy vegetables for dinner, but no matter what kind of vegetables Naruto bought, the bosses avoided him as if they had seen a plague god, and directly threw the vegetables in his face cursingly, telling him to go away. Even the villagers and children who saw him on the road whispered bad words to him. Many people even said, "Why didn't Master 3 kill this demon fox? He killed so many people back then. I heard that this demon fox killed the 4th generation couple, thanks to the 3rd generation who presided over the overall situation of Konoha village all these years." Seeing Naruto get up and go home alone, the anger in Minato's heart has already overwhelmed his rationality. He couldn't imagine that he and Kushina protected Konoha village at the cost of their lives, but Sandai and Danzo not only blocked the news that Naruto was their son, but even made these Konoha villagers speak ill of Naruto. Kushina knew the pain of being isolated as a Jinjuri when he was a child, and Naruto has not only been isolated, but also been insulted and beaten countless times over the years. Minato's face was so gloomy that water dripped out. He wished he could kill all the villagers who were yelling at Naruto right now, but Hokage's reason in the past still controlled him. This Hokage, it doesn't matter. I, Namikaze Minato, will never guard this Konoha again. Minato has already drawn a clear line with Konoha village. Minato has already made a plan in his heart. He will take Naruto out of Konoha village later and stay in Konoha village. Sooner or later, Naruto will be trained by Danzo and them as a weapon of war. But before that, he still needs to ask for an explanation from the leader of the 3 generations of Naruto, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Orochimaru Danzo. After all, his 4 generations of Hokage, Namikaze Minato, are not something everyone can handle. Now that he has been reincarnated in the dirt, he is at the peak of his strength, and the other half of 9 tails is sealed in his body, and he also has an infinite recovery system. Just as Minato rushed to find Sandai to settle accounts, Obito also appeared on another piece of land in Konoha village. According to Obito's original memory, Kakashi often came here to mourn him and Lin, and he came here on time once a month. Calculating the time, Kakashi should come again today. So Obito secretly hid in the woods and observed secretly. Sure enough, after staying for a long time, a figure wearing a mask slowly appeared on the dirt road. It was Kakashi, Konoha copy technician. The famous flag wood. As usual, Kakashi first placed a bouquet of flowers in front of Obito's grave, and then placed a bouquet of flowers in front of Lin's grave. Is this Lin's grave? A voice came suddenly, and Kakashi replied naturally, yes. Immediately Kakashi turned around and stood up, looking warily at the masked man who suddenly appeared behind him. Who are you? Why do you know this place? Kakashi said in a deep voice, basically no one has been here for so many years except him. I'll come and see my dead self, there should be no problem. Obito slowly took off his mask and said so. Kakashi's eyes widened, looking at the familiar face in front of him in disbelief. You are. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 2 Kakashi's shock emotion value. Even though his face was disfigured, Kakashi could still recognize that this was his former friend. That's enough, look at my Sharingan, don't you still recognize me? Obito was extremely helpless, with only one Sharingan on his face, could Kakashi not remember this facial feature? Obito, you are Obito. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Kakashi's surprise emotion value of 3. Kakashi shouted excitedly. You're not dead, Obito. Do you really want me to die? Obito asked back. No, of course not, how did you survive back then, why didn't you return to Konoha for so many years? Kakashi was short of breath, and asked several questions in a series. I won't answer these questions for the time being. I'll just tell you now, I have long been on the opposite side of Muya village. I planned the Nine Tails Rebellion back then. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 5 Kakashi's shock emotion value. What did you say? Kakashi's pupils trembled, and he said in a trembling voice, you must be joking, right, Obito? I'm not joking. When you killed Lin, I awakened the kaleidoscope Sharingan, and I also had the power to control the 9 tails. As Obito said, the scarlet Sharingan in his eyes turned into a kaleidoscope of Sharingan. Is it really you, Obito? Why are you doing this? Congratulations to the host for obtaining Kakashi's disappointment value of 3. The reason is very simple. I am completely disappointed in this old ninja system. If it is not completely changed, more people like you and me will lose their companions and relatives in the future. Is this your reason? Kakashi roared angrily. You slaughtered the village you lived in just because of this reason. Back then you were Odato who cherished your companion the most. Didn't you teach me this? Congratulations to the host for obtaining 3 Kakashi anger points. It's useless to say more, Kakashi, don't worry, I will resurrect Lin in the future, but today, Konoha village still has a good show to watch. The good show that Obito said was naturally Minato's actions. Obito knew that Minato was a gentle person, but he was by no means a weak and deceitful person. No matter what your purpose is to bring soil, I will never let you be unfavorable to Konoha now. I will arrest you first and let the 3 generations decide. Kakashi said coldly. I don't know why, Kakashi, do you think you will be my opponent now? Obito sneered. Rachel, Kakashi used his famous ninjutsu, Chidori, and struck towards Obito with thunder in his hand. But when Kakashi's Chidori hit Obito's chest, I was shocked to find that my arm passed through Obito's body. I have to say that the skill of blurring is really the 6th. Obito grabbed Kakashi's arm and sneered, I've got you, come in. Then Kakashi was attracted into the Kamui space. I don't know what's going on at the water gate, let's go and have a look. Said Obito escaped into the Shinwei space. Konoha's Hokage office building. Hiruzuru Sarutobi was sitting in Hokage's office on the 3rd floor, happily looking at the women's bathhouse through the crystal ball. Suddenly, a kunai with a special imprint shattered the window and shot straight at his desk. Ding! Ku Wooding was 3 feet in front of him, and Sanday's eyes sharpened in an instant. Who dares to attack this old man? The 3rd generation said in a deep voice, although he has not shot for many years, he still has combat power. In Konoha village, the only ones who dared to attack him like this were spies from other villages, except Danzo's roots. A golden light flashed, and Minato's figure appeared in front of kunai with the mark of Flying Thunder God. Looking at the familiar figure in front of him, Sandai couldn't help but widen his old eyes, and the wrinkles on his old face were twisted together in surprise. You are. My lord, you still remember me. The unsalty sound of the water gate sounded. At this time, Minato was still wearing the Hokage robe before his death, and the fourth Hokage was written on it brightly. If the third generation couldn't recognize it, he would be blind. Minato, how did you live? The third generation forcibly suppressed the shock in his heart and said. I was summoned by Master Phagian's dirty soil reincarnation technique, can't you recognize me? Watergate explained. Sandai looked at the corpse mark on Minato's face, and also understood that Minato was not yet a man of Yangjan at this time. Shuaman, who reincarnated you from the filthy soil. How could the forbidden books in the village be spread? Hiruzuru Sarutobi asked seriously. This picture is not the point. Minato's voice suddenly turned cold, and he said, Kushina and I entrusted you to take care of Naruto before we died, right? When Sarutobi Hiruzen heard Minato's sudden question, he couldn't help sweating on his forehead, and said bravely, that's what happened. Minato stared at Sandai with sharp eyes, and said, however, what I saw with my own eyes in Konoha today, Naruto didn't know his life experience, and the people in the village didn't know that he was my orphan. Instead, they thought he was a demon fox who brought disasters, and beat and insulted him. Naruto even couldn't guarantee the most basic living expenses. Sandai, I want you to give me and Kushina an explanation. Minato, calm down first. Hiruza Sarutobi felt that his head was getting bigger, and Minato Namikaze was reincarnated by the filth for some reason, and he also came to Konoha to witness Naruto's life for these years. It is unbelievable that no one planned Hiruza Sarutobi behind this. Calm down, I can go to your uncle's. Calm down, if you died fighting for Konoha, and your son is treated like a monster, how will you react? Minato replied rudely. Seeing Namikaze Minato's real move, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt his heart tightened, and could only sigh with feigned regret, and said, actually, all of this is Danzo's fault. In order to train Naruto into Konoha's tailed beast war machine these years, he deliberately spread rumors to induce the villagers to think Naruto is a monster. Is that so? Where is the old thief now? After hearing this, Minato was furious, and wished he could go to Danzo now to fight for his life. 3 generations, what have you been doing all these years? Don't you come forward to stop Naruto, who is at the heart of Danzang? Minato continued to question. Hiruzuru Sarutobi was helpless for a while, seeing that Danzo couldn't dump all the scapegoat, he could only admit part of it through gritted teeth. The old man has come forward to dissuade Danzo many times over the years, but Danzo never listens to me, Hokage. The purpose of Danzo's doing this is to draw Naruto into the root and become his own subordinate. This matter is also my responsibility. If I can beat him more, maybe he won't dare to target Naruto so wildly. What Sarutobi Hiruza said is true or false, he has turned a blind eye to Danzo's behavior these years, and even acquiesced in Danzo's doing this. Secondly, he also hid Naruto's life experience. The purpose is to suppress the orphans of the 4th generation, so that his Sarutobi family can dominate. The Sensho clan and the Uchiha clan, 2 big families who founded Konoha, 1 clan member died on the battlefield, leaving only one Tsunade, and the other was killed by Uchiha Itachi with a conspiracy by him and Danzo. Danzo is a despicable villain, and Sarutobi Hiruzen is not a good bird. What? Minato's eyes flashed coldly. He had already put Danzo on the must-kill list, not to mention that Danzo had done a lot of shady and bad things in Konoha over the years. His organization alone was not a place for people to stay. If Naruto really went in, I'm afraid he would be brainwashed into a puppet by him. Then what about the legacy I left to Naruto? You don't know this for 3 generations, right? Why is it so difficult for Naruto to even eat ramen? Namikaze Minato asked the last question. Minato, I'm sorry for you. Most of your property was used by Danzo to fund his root organization, and the other part was decided by the village's senior management to repair the village destroyed by Kyuubi. Hey, it's all my fault. If my wrist can be tougher, Danzo will not be able to take away the inheritance you left to Naruto. It is true that Danzo took part of the inheritance, and Hiruza Sarutobi was not clean, and there will definitely be pockets of private pockets. Namikaze Minato is not stupid at all, he knows it too. Following Sarutobi's nonsense, Namikaze Minato's eyes became colder and colder, and in the end it was almost like a wild beast wanting to choose and devour. Old man Sarutobi, I gave you a chance, but you took me for a fool, didn't you? Hiruzuru Sarutobi's old face froze, and he said embarrassingly, Minato, what do you mean? Needless to say, since Konoha treats our family like this, then I will sever justice with Konoha and from now on. Namikaze Minato is determined to arrive. When Sarutobi Hiruzen heard this, his old face was as black as the bottom of a pot, and he said, Minato, you should think about it, if there is any misunderstanding, we can sit down and talk slowly. At this time, in the Kamui space, Kakashi fell to the ground after being sucked in, grinning in pain. Kakashi glanced around and found that it was a strange place, except for the open space, there were only pillars surrounded by forests. And Obito pretended to be standing on one of the pillars. It's almost time to start the lottery system again, 10 consecutive draws. Obito has gained a lot of points from Kakashi, and he is very proud now. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 100 Ninja Jade. Congratulations to the host for getting 10 bowls of ramen. Congratulations to the host for getting a Xiaomi smartphone. Congratulations to the host for getting a Bluetooth headset. Congratulations to the host for getting a box of Master Brand instant noodles. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the guaranteed reward, Yin-Yang Escape Technique. The technique of Yin and Yang Escape. Obito recalled that this escape technique is unique to the Six Paths Sage, and it is said that the Six Paths Immortal created 9-tailed beasts by relying on the Yin-Yang Escape Technique. In the setting, Yin-Yang Dun is based on Yin Dun that can create form from the invisible and Yang Dun that injects life into the form. It is a concrete technique that gives life to imagination. The two sons of the immortals of the Six Paths, Indra and Asura, inherited the power of the Yang of the Six Paths and the power of the Yin of the Six Paths respectively. Therefore, the later Uchiha clan inherited Yin Dun, and the Senju clan inherited Yang Shield. According to this, Naruto and the Senju clan are inseparable. The only one who has something to do with Senju is his mother Uzumaki Kushina, so why is he the reincarnation of Ashura? This is a mystery. In the later stage, after Obito became Jinchuriki of the 10 Tails, he used Chudaoyu in combination with a technique based on the Yin-Yang Escape Technique to invalidate everything, so that the left hand of Minato could not be restored. And Naruto, who got the power of the 6 Yangs, also prevented Kai from going to death and restored Kakashi's eyes, giving full play to the power of Yin and Yang Escape. Looks like I can get my Sharingan back. Originally, Obito thought about taking away his Sharingan, and Kakashi became half-blind, but now it seems that there is no need to worry. Obito jumped forward and landed straight in front of Kakashi, who was observing the environment below. You scared the shit out of me. Kakashi shook his body, held kunai in front of him, and stared at Obito vigilantly. Kakashi, my other Sharingan was transplanted to you by Lin back then. Now I want to get it back and return it to its original owner. It's reasonable. It's reasonable, sir, Kakashi said angrily. You are no longer the Obito I know, you are now Konoha's enemy, I will defeat you here, and I will never let you destroy Konoha's peace. Hey, Obito regretted, why are you self-proclaimed righteous ninjas so hard-spoken? Do you think you are still the genius ninja of Konoha back then? It would be easy for me to kill you now. Then come try it. Kakashi stopped talking nonsense, jumped forward, and used Reikiri to hit Obito again. Kakashi's Reikiri is an enhanced Chidori. Sasuke's Chidori is only A level in difficulty and power, but Kakashi's Reikiri can reach S level. You don't think you can make a 55 with me, do you? Obito's eyes were dim, he didn't turn on the blur, and directly resisted Kakashi's blow with his body. Kakashi's Reikiri punched Obito's chest and directly pierced a bloody hole, but Obito's expression did not change at all, he just looked at Kakashi in front of him indifferently. Your Rachel is powerful, that's how you killed Lin back then. Kakashi looked at Obito as if nothing had happened, his pupils shrank, and he said in disbelief, how is it possible, my Reikiri has pierced your heart, why are you fine? I'm already immortal, you can't kill me. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 5 Kakashi's shock emotion value. Obito smiled coldly, now he not only has an immortal body, but also has mastered the Yin and Yang escape technique, and healing wounds is a piece of cake. It's my turn. Obito stretched out his right hand fiercely, and then a thick and long wooden pole appeared in his hand. Wooden, the technique of cutting. The plunger in Obito's hand snorted, and passed through Kakashi's body. Obito was careful not to hit Kakashi's chest, otherwise it would be troublesome to resurrect him after killing him. Kakashi's body was pierced instantly, blood flowed out, and the corners of his mouth under the mask continuously overflowed with blood. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Kakashi's pain emotion value of 2. That's it. Obito looked at Kakashi, who had lost the ability to resist, and directly removed the Sharingan of Kakashi's right eye with his fingers. Then he put Sharingan in his empty right eye, and the Sharingan of this Sengoku returned to his original owner's body, and began to turn slowly. Obito's right eye continued to shed blood, and the Sengoku Sharingan, like the left eye, evolved into the appearance of a kaleidoscope Sharingan. Now my strength should be back to its peak. Obito murmured. Originally, because he only had one kaleidoscope Sharingan, he couldn't open the Susanoo, and even using Kamui was a huge burden on his body, but now his combat power has soared directly. Then Obito looked at Kakashi, who was lying on the ground half dead. The power of Yongdun emerged in his hand, and put his palm on Kakashi's wound pierced by him. Kakashi, who was lying on the ground, only felt that he had stepped into the underworld with 1.5 feet in the first second, and a very strong vitality was conveyed to him in the next second. He was surprised to find that his wound was healing quickly, and it was healed in just a few breaths, without even a scar. Kakashi was shocked. In his knowledge, perhaps only Tsunade, one of the Sannin, could have such a healing ability. Congratulations to the host for getting Kakashi's shocked emotion value of 5. Kakashi's mood is too high, more wool than the sheep in front. Obito sighed in surprise. Afterwards, Obito did the same and recreated Kakashi's eyes. Okay, you should be fine now. Kakashi stood up and felt his physical condition. He was indeed fine. Not only that, he had often watched Intimate Paradise these years, and his body was weak. Now he felt that the essence had returned. Obito's Sharingan has also put a heavy burden on his body over the years, and taking it away now makes him more durable in battle. Obito, you. Kakashi looked at Obito with complicated eyes, with mixed feelings in his heart. The Obito in front of him has become very strange. Not only is he a proper conspirator, Konoha's enemy, but he also has an extremely high combat effectiveness. If it is said that he was a crane tail when he was a child, no one would believe it. Why did you save me? Kakashi asked in a complicated tone. It stands to reason that I should hate myself for killing Lin Obito, not to mention that I did it first. Obito has no reason to be on me anyway. I saved you because you still have value. Obito's words are true, he really intends to keep pulling the wool of Kakashi's emotional value. Okay, if you are still a big man, don't be mother-in-law, my eyes have been taken back, and then I will go out with me. Obito waved his hand, expressing that he couldn't bear this sensational atmosphere. But to be honest, your strength has hardly improved over the years. Kakashi smiled bitterly when he heard the words. After losing his father's 2 friends and his teacher, Kakashi lived like a walking corpse these years, and later became addicted to Jiraiya's intimacy paradise, unable to extricate himself, just thinking about escaping the pain of reality. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Kakashi's bitter emotions. At this time, Obito also opened the door to the Kamui space, and happened to overhear the conversation between Minato and Hiruzuru Sarutobi. What are you talking about? A sneer sounded, and Obito suddenly appeared from the Kamui space, pulling Kakashi out of his hand. Hiruzuru Sarutobi probably wants to play the emotional card again here. Obito now has 2 kaleidoscope Sharingans, and his combat power has increased a lot. He is looking for a strong man to fight. Kakashi was violently thrown by Obito, and fell to the ground in a disfigured manner. You are. Hiruzuru Sarutobi was also stunned seeing the 2 people who appeared suddenly. He was naturally familiar with Kakashi, and he felt as if he had seen this masked man before. Immediately, he widened his eyes and hissed, "You are the masked man from the Nine Tails Rebellion." Gia. Obito sneered with a rather villainous color. It seems that the 3 generations of Hokage-sama are not old-fashioned, and this memory is quite good. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Sarutobi Hiruzu's shock emotion value of 5. Congratulations to the host for gaining 2 Sarutobi Hiruzu anger emotion value. You still dare to come back. Third Hokage's eyes widened with anger, and his muscles tensed up against Obito's mortal enemy, who he directly defined as Konoha in his heart, ready to strike at any time. Teacher, working with this kind of insects, isn't Muya village not such a virtue? Obito said to Minato very bluntly. Congratulations to the host for gaining 2 Sarutobi Hiruza anger emotion value. These words carry a lot of weight, basically pointing to the nose and saying that Hiruzuru Sarutobi is a villain, your son is being bullied now and your death back then has nothing to do with him. Hearing these words, Sarutobi Hiruza immediately became furious. Hiruzuru Sarutobi is a typical person who wants to build a torii after being a fool. He has always pushed Konoha's bad things to Danzo, and now he is directly named as an insect. It can be said that he has been angry for 10 years of cerebral thrombosis. Kakashi's eyes widened when he heard that, but he didn't expect Obito to speak insultingly directly to the third Hokage. And when he saw the figure standing on the desk, his whole body trembled. Water. Teacher Minato. Kakashi groaned. He didn't expect to see 2 old people who passed away in one day. Although Obito was very unfriendly to him, he was still very excited today. It's you, Kakashi. Minato looked at Kakashi who was excited, and a trace of tenderness flashed in his eyes. Once upon a time, he and Kushina always regarded Kakashi, Obito and Rin as their younger siblings, but they didn't expect that there would be so many misfortunes later. Teacher, you are. Kakashi looked at the battle where Minato was going to fight with the 3rd generation, and his mind was a little dazed. It doesn't matter if Obito is a traitor, are you going to betray Konoha village? Kakashi, you don't have to ask, this is a private matter between me and the 3rd generation. Minato said calmly. Kakashi wanted to say something else, but at this time Obito stood up and taunted. Old man Sarutobi, you dare to come back if you ask me, what a joke, Konoha village was originally the place where I was born and raised, what happened when I went back to my own home? Do you still want face, you little fool? Hiru Sarutobi cursed angrily. You still have the face to say that you regard Konoha village as your home, and you released 9 tails to harm Konoha village. Is this how you treat your home? Then I want to ask you, what did you think when you let Itachi Tugwang Uchiha clan? Do you want to tell me that you are for the peace of the village? With a cold voice, standing on the commanding heights of morality, who wouldn't, he promised today that Hiruzuru Sarutobi would not be able to go around. The Uchiha clan has a heart of rebellion. Uchiha Itachi made a spontaneous decision for the peace of the village, and it has nothing to do with the old man. 3 generations said with a cheeky face. The good one has nothing to do with you. Obito smiled angrily, and said, then Shiro Hatake Somo's death that year had nothing to do with you. If it wasn't because you high-level officials were afraid that Baiya would be difficult to control, why would you deliberately release rumors to make Hatake Somo commit suicide in the public opinion? Congratulations to the host for obtaining 3 Kakashi anger points. Congratulations to the host for getting Kakashi's sad emotion value of 1. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Sarutobi Hiruza's shock emotion value of 2. When Kakashi heard this, a look of sadness flashed in his eyes. His father's death has always been an unhealable pain in his heart. In fact, he has always known that his father's death was strange. For a while, he even regarded Somo Hatake's abandonment of the mission to save his companions as a coward, but he was corrected by Obito at the time. Now that he heard Obito mentioning this matter again, he was also angry with Konoha's senior management. Don't take your word for it. Hiruzuru Sarutobi's face was a bit ugly. He felt for the first time that Danzo's absence was a burden, and if Danzo was here, he wouldn't be so difficult to deal with. Also, the Senju clan is a family that Konoha used to be as prosperous as the Uchiha clan. Why did the population decline after the Third Ninja World War? Isn't it because you deliberately sent Senju clan members to the front line of the battlefield that caused them to suffer heavy casualties? The purpose of your doing this is of course to make the Sarutobi family the largest family in Konoha. And Danzo's root organization can develop and grow, I'm afraid it can't do without your help. As for Anbu, which only belongs to your jurisdiction, I'm afraid it may not be much cleaner than Danzo's roots. When I released 9 tails that night, why didn't you show up for so long? Could it be that you couldn't get away from the chaotic security in the village? You know the reason better than anyone else. Even why Naruto doesn't know who his parents are, and who often releases the news that Naruto is a demon fox. Needless to say, congratulations to the host for obtaining Kakashi's irritability value of 1. Congratulations to the host for gaining 3 Sarutobi Hiruza anger emotion value. Enough, that's it, shut up. Hiruzuru Sarutobi's face was as dark as the bottom of a pot at this time, and his old bottom was about to be thrown over by Obito at this time. Fire escape fire dragon fire bomb. Huge flames spewed out from Sarutobi's mouth and rushed towards Obito. A trace of excitement flashed in Obito's eyes, and his hands also quickly formed seals. Obito, be careful. Kakashi couldn't help reminding him that in his heart he was still more concerned about the life and death of this old friend, even though he had brought great losses to Konoha. Fire escape. The art of Huo dragon. A few huge fire dragons spewed out from the air with soil, and rushed towards the fire dragon bombs fired by the 3rd generation with boiling teeth and claws. The 2 ninjutsu collided together, and a huge fire wave was ejected around the impact interface. The scorching fire wave spread to the surroundings, instantly burning everything in Hokage's office to ashes. Both Kakashi and Minato retreated quickly, and in the middle of the collision, Obito's A-level ninjutsu, Fire Dragon Jutsu, was slightly better, pressing down on the 3rd generation of Fire Dragon fire bullets. 2 Done Earth Dragon Ball Technique. The 3rd generation quickly released another Earth Escape ninjutsu to fight against the Fire Dragon with soil, and at the same time slapped the ground with his right hand, and performed spiritism. Ape Demon, help me. 3 generations shouted, and his exclusive psychic Ape Demon came out, and at the same time, 3 generations waved his hand, and the Ape Demon became a golden cudgel in his hand. Seeing the mudslides sprayed by the Earth Dragon created by Hiruza Sarutobi, Obito didn't plan to play anymore, and directly gave it to the 3rd generation to come to Boda. Susanoo. With Obito's loud shout, Obito's exclusive blue Susanoo appeared in the Hokage office building, and Obito increased his pupil power again after feeling the blue chakra skeleton that wrapped him, and directly made his own Susanoo put on the Yadengu armor and became a complete body. The figure of the blue armored giant appeared directly in Hokage's office building, and Susanoo Obito almost collapsed the office building. It's going to cost a lot of money to repair it. Sarutobi scolded his mother in his heart. Congratulations to the host for gaining 1 Sarutobi Hiruza anger emotion value. Look, what is that? The scene where Susanoo's huge figure suddenly appeared in the Hokage office building also attracted the attention of many residents of Konoha village and ninjas. My god, what kind of monster is that blue giant? Isn't that where Hokage-sama's office building is? This volume is probably bigger than that 9-tailed demon fox. It won't be another catastrophe like that. The crowd was visibly panicked. No, Hokage-sama is in danger, come with me to escort him. The leading ninjas of Anbu and the famous ninjas of Anbu set off to the place where the 3rd generation and Obito confront each other. That's the Susanoo of the Uchiha clan. In the dark basement room, a skinny old man with half of his face wrapped in a bandage was also attracted by the movement of the fight. It was the leader of the Root organization, Danzo Shimura, Nabekage of Konoha. Aren't the Uchiha clan dead except for Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Sasuke? Could it be that Uchiha Itachi came back for revenge? Thinking of this, Danzo snorted coldly. I told Hiruzuru Sarutobi a long time ago that I should have killed Uchiha Itachi directly back then, and he will regret it for letting the tiger go back to the mountain. Obito has also sensed that people around him are constantly coming here, so he also decided to make a quick decision. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you can go and bury the dead Uchiha clan members. You fool, you were not even born when the old man ruled the ninja world. Sarutobi retorted unceremoniously. At the same time, he stared solemnly at Obito's blue Susanoo. As a person of the era of Senju Banma, he had seen how powerful Susanoo of the Uchiha clan was. Eat me and chop. Obito manipulated the Susanoo giant to slash the huge chakra double swords towards the 3rd generation. Seeing this, Hiruzuru Sarutobi didn't dare to catch it forcefully. He was not a reckless man like Danzo, he dared to suffer without a thorn in Susanoo. After quickly dodging the knife, Hiruza Sarutobi looked at Obito's Susanoo with solemn eyes. Obito gave him the feeling that he had a lot of chakra, and it seemed worthy of putting 2 A-level ninjutsu in front of him, much more durable than Kakashi. Since that's the case, the old man will open it up directly, to see if he can break your 8 shells, the king of Susan. The 3rd generation cursed, and then quickly threw the Vajra wishful stick in his hand towards Obito. Psychic Art Vajra Prison Wall. When the Vajra wish stick reached half a foot in front of Susanoo, it turned into many iron rods, forming a cage shape around Susanoo. This is a technique in which the ape demon transformed into a Vajra wishful stick, and then transformed into dozens of wishful sticks, surrounded the enemy from all directions, thereby restraining the enemy. Generally speaking, this kind of diamond hard cage can never be destroyed, and the captured enemy can only experience the humiliation of defeat in this cage. However, you and Danzo are really crouching dragons and phoenixes. Obito sneered unceremoniously. Danzang dares to suffer without thorns, and the 3 generations of dare to seal the Vajra Rui stick. It's just a broken stick, and you want to restrain me. Obito kept swinging his saber quickly at the iron rod transformed into the Vajra Rui stick. Wood, big, 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 big. Susanoo's big knife hit the iron rod, sparks kept splashing, and there was the cry of pain from the psychic beast ape demon. It hurts me to death, Rizan, hurry up, I can only restrain him for a moment at most. The ape demon yelled at Sarutobi Hiruzen in pain. Understood, don't worry, it will be fine soon. A split second was enough for Sarutobi Hiruzen. Shadow clone technique. Hiruzuru Sarutobi separated 4 shadow clones and quickly jumped to the 4 positions of Susanoo, while Hiruzuru Sarutobi was in the main position. 5 escapes. Dalien bullet technique. 5 Dungeness Dalien bulletin jutsu is Sarutobi Hiruzen summoning 4 clones using the technique of shadow clones to cooperate with each other, using 5 ninjutsu with different attributes of fire, thunder, water, earth, and wind to attack the enemy at the same time, causing a destructive explosion with a wide range and great power. In the previous life, Obito played the Naruto mobile game with fresh memories. In the 3rd generation of the Dirty Soil, add a cage and add fire, and then you can quit the game with the Mystery 5 Escape Dalien bullet art. The old guy is getting bigger. Obito didn't dare to underestimate the ninjutsu that Hiruzuru Sarutobi performed against him in 5 directions. The power of this move is still great, even more powerful than the General S rank forbidden art. At this time, the ape demon's Vajra wish-fulfilling stick also forcibly carried Obito's slash, and finally turned into a cage to restrain Obito's Susanoo. Grandma, Hiruzuru Sarutobi is serious, I will lose half my life after this move. The ape demon cursed secretly. After trapping Obito, he saw that the 5 ninjutsu in the release range were about to collide with each other. After colliding with each other, there would definitely be a powerful explosion in the center. Reverse psychic art, my mission is complete, I'm leaving first. The ape demon saw that Obito was going to take this big move forcefully, and summoned himself back to the psychic world with a reverse psychic technique. Boom! As Sarutobi Hiruzen expected, the great power of the 5 Dungeon Dalien bullet technique was like a small nuclear bomb, blasting out a huge pothole dozens of meters around Obito. Hoo-hoo, this should be able to cause him a lot of damage. After all, Sarutobi Hiruzen was getting old, and after tossing around for a while, he felt that his chakra and physical strength were exhausted. It's caused such a commotion, why don't Danzo and those ninjas from Anbu come? Hiruzuru Sarutobi was puzzled. In fact, Danzo has been observing in secret, and Susanoo Obito also finds it difficult, so he doesn't want to come out. He also kept going and didn't show up during the Nine Tails Rebellion. Let Hiruzen do this kind of thing, anyway, he is Hokage. If Danzo encounters a dangerous thing, he still has to leave it to the 3rd generation. As for the group of people from Anbu, they have already arrived, but they are a little timid when they see Susanoo of the Uchiha clan. This thing is bigger than Kyuubi, and it is probably cannon fodder to go up. Seeing that the 3rd Hokage had almost beaten the blue Susanoo, the ninjas in Anbu and the famous Junin in the village felt that it was time for them to come out. I don't know how to give charcoal in the snow, but I still know how to pick up the icing on the cake. 3 generations of adults are late. A dozen masked Anbu suddenly rushed out behind the house and behind the woods. Dad, are you all right? Asma also did not know where to come out. Master Hokage, we are late. The 3 heads of the Zuludi family arrived late at this time. Master Hokage, what happened? Did an enemy enter Konoha village? The patriarch of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Hyuzu, stepped on the spot to report at this time. Quote. Grandmas, play dirty with me, right? Hiruzuru Sarutobi looked at this group of ninjas who were stuck a little late and was speechless. Why didn't I see you come out when the Hokage office building exploded just now? I was almost hacked to death by Susanoo. Why didn't I see you come out? Now that the battle is over, play cards for me to save people, right? Especially when he saw that Asma was still inside, he was so angry that he almost didn't come up. Good guy, you are such a filial son. Dare to love your father. What good will it do you if I was beaten to death, right? It's okay, the enemy has already been beaten by me to the point of combat effectiveness, you just go over and confirm the situation and arrest him. Hiruzuru Sarutobi waved his hand with a trace of fatigue on his face, pretending not to care. After all, as a Hokage, you still have to have a bearing. Yes, Hokage-sama, a group of people agreed, ready to step forward to see the situation of Obito. With soil, Kakashi, who had been touching the fish, frowned, looking worriedly at the place where Obito was hit. What's wrong, Kakashi, are you worried about Obito? Minato's face was neither happy nor sad, and he didn't have much emotion for this disciple who killed himself and Kushina. He just analyzed objectively. My current state is reincarnation of Dirty Earth. If he is killed, I will probably be released from reincarnation of Dirty Earth. Therefore, I am still fine now, which means that he is fine, so you don't have to worry about it. Minato looked at a group of ninjas and didn't notice that he, the fourth Hokage, was a little dissatisfied, and some of them were old subordinates he had worked with for many years. No, I'm not worried about Obito. Kakashi shook his head. He wasn't worried that Obito would be killed. He knew in Kamui Dimension that Obito would not die now, but he didn't find out where Obito went after a while, and this was the source of his worry. Chapter 11. Master Hokage, don't take it lightly, Obito won't be killed so easily. Kakashi reminded the third generation. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Kakashi with some dissatisfaction. After all, Obito Uchiha and Kakashi used to be comrades in arms. Now that Manaka's Minato was reincarnated by the dirt, Kakashi's emotions and thoughts will inevitably be affected. What's more, Obito mentioned the death of White Fang just now, and Sandai believed that this would definitely cause Kakashi to have a gap with Konoha. Because when Kakashi reminded him, he thought that Kakashi was blatantly damaging the reputation of his third Hokage. Kakashi, you are worrying too much. In the ninja world, there is no one who can stand up after eating my one-shot 5 Dandalian bullet technique. Sarutobi Hiruza said braggingly. Good guy, you dare to brag about this awesomeness. Do you dare to say this in front of the first Hokage Senju Hashirama and the second Hokage Senju Tabuma? Danzo in the dark felt sick and slandered. As long as the ninjas of the Warring States period are still alive, just pull out a random one and beat you. Sarutobi Hiruzen is not the same as playing. Sarutobi Hiruzen, so you are very brave. A voice suddenly sounded from behind Hiruzuru Sarutobi. Hiruzen Sarutobi was still immersed in the rhetoric just now. He took over the words and said, of course, I am a doctor of ninjutsu, a generation of ninja, I am super brave, okay. But Kakashi in front of him widened his eyes, and shouted, third generations, be careful, get out of here. As soon as Sandai turned his head, he saw Susanoo with soil suddenly appearing from the Kamui space, stabbing his upper body with a knife. Bang bang bang. Hiruzen Sarutobi was slashed far away by this knife, and hit the houses on the ground, knocking down several houses. PFF'd. Hiruzuru Sarutobi's chest was nearly cut in half by Obito, bloody, and there was a huge doushing him on his stomach, blood was continuously gushing out. Obito Uchiha, you are too despicable, you almost sent me away with this knife. As soon as Sandai's eyes went dark, he lost too much blood and fainted. Lord Hokage. A group of people were dumbfounded when they saw this sudden scene. The moment Obito was trapped by the ape demon, he escaped into the divine power space, and the 3 generations of Wuden Dalian Donji were just lonely. It's not that Obito can't take it hard, but it's not necessary. Obito has been hiding in the Kamui space, and then took advantage of Sarutobi Hiruzaki's carelessness and slapped him ruthlessly. Behind the iron wall of the Yangtze River is the underworld. In line with the principle of caring for the elderly, Obito gave Sarutobi Hiru an ancient ingot knife and a lightning whirlwind to let him drink with Lord Yama. The reason behind it is indeed heartwarming. Are you Uchiha Obito? Hinata Hyuzu heard the conversation between Kakashi and Sandai just now, stared at Obito with his white eyes in disbelief and said, "It's your uncle and me." Obito pretended to be blunt. "Congratulations to the host for gaining 3 Yamato shock mood points. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 5 Asma's anger emotion value. Congratulations to Sujo for getting 2 Nara Shikaku's shocking mood points. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 2 Hyuga Nichizu shocked mood points." The group of people around him instantly contributed nearly 20 emotional points to Obito. "Father." Asma looked at Hiruzen Sarutobi, who was lying on the ground bleeding continuously, his eyes turned red instantly. "Call the medical ninja to treat Hokage-sama." Shikahisa Nara was the only one who was still quite shocked. He immediately called for medical ninjas and ordered the people from Anbu to carry Sandai Hokage to the hospital for treatment. "I want you to die." Asma jumped up with red eyes, and the chakra dual knives appeared on her thick arms, and slashed towards Obito. Aren't people from the Sarutobi family not able to use their brains? Obito couldn't help complaining. In the past, Sarutobi Hiruzen trapped Susanoo with a Vajra stick, and later Asman hacked Susanoo with 2 chakra knives. It seems that Konoha is not only hiding a crouching dragon and phoenix chick. The idiot Rizan was defeated so easily and carelessly. Root Danzo cursed. Although Hiruzuru Sarutobi's life and death are now unknown to him is very good, but the most important issue at hand is to stop Obito Uchiha. Ding 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 ding. Asma's chakra dual knives kept slashing around the soiled Susanoo, and the collision between the blade and Susanoo's armor caused sparks to fly. "You put it here for scraping." Obito impatiently let Susanoo slap Asma away with a slap. Bang bang bang. Asma, like the 3rd generation, was shot flying for tens of meters, her throat was sweet, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. "What kind of monster is this?" Asma looked at Obito in disbelief. In his eyes, Obito was nothing like the crane tail when he was a child, the crane tail who couldn't even pass the exam of the ninja school. "You tell me now that he has become so strong." This is the pupil art that can only be opened by the kaleidoscope-sharing eyes of the Uchiha family, Susanoo. After all, Hyuga Nichizu has dealt with the Uchiha clan for many years, and he still knows the details of the Uchiha clan. In his eyes before, the Uchiha clan has always been the #1 target of suppression for his Hyuga clan. And judging by the appearance of the Susanoo he summoned, it should be close to the perfect body. Hinata Hijuru said solemnly, "Obito's current Susanoo is not the half-baked skeleton of Sasuke when he fought Danzo. Susanoo, who is nearly 60 meters away, is still wearing Yadengu armor, which is very close to Uchiha Madara in the Warring States period." Just now when the 3rd generation was bragging with confidence, he wanted to remind that the perfect Susanoo would probably not be a big deal even if he had a forbidden technique from the 3rd generation, not to mention that Obito's pupil technique is too old. "Nizuru, does he have any weaknesses?" Shikahisa Nara gasped when he heard Hinata Hijuru say that. He had also heard of the Uchiha clan's kaleidoscope-sharing eye pupil technique. When Itachi slaughtered the Uchiha clan back then, Uchiha Fugaku, as the head of the family, was actually a kaleidoscope Sharingan, just like Fugaku opened Susan at that time, and he was completely able to stop Itachi. It's just that Fuyu saw that his eldest son, whom he had always placed high hopes on, couldn't do anything, and together with Makoto expressed his understanding of Itachi. It has to be said that Sandai and Danzo really had sinister intentions, brainwashing Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Shisui with the will of fire, and let Uchiha Itachi kill his own people himself. Itachi had been brainwashed at that time, and for the peace of the village, he swung a knife at his parents, and the only one left was his favorite brother. The Uchiha clan was actually not weak at the time. Both Itachi and Fuyu could open Susan, and Shisui gave Itachi a sharing eye. If Itachi cooperates with Fuyu to launch a coup, the chances of winning are still very high. Of course, on that night of genocide, the original Obito actually participated, otherwise Itachi alone would not have been able to kill the entire clan so easily. After Obito traveled to the ninja world, he also checked the possessions in his Kamui space, and found several preserved Sharingan of other members of the Uchiha clan. It should be that Obito picked up the leakage at that time and saved it for later contingencies. Hinata heard Nara Shikahisa's words, pondered seriously for a moment, and then slowly said, "Strictly speaking, Susanoo really doesn't have any weaknesses." "Your uncles." Lu Ju was so angry that he wanted to scold his mother. Such a big Gundam, with high defense and high damage, and no weaknesses, how to fight it. Just like in the Ultraman universe, the Earth Defense Force fights monsters. Without Ultraman as the main force, they can only scrape the monsters. As for Susanoo, we can only rely on absolute brute force to fight. Nichizu analyzed. In the Battle of the Valley of the End, the first Hokage, Senju Hashirama, summoned a huge wooden figurine by means of the wooden dummy technique, and directly fought head-on with Uchiha Madara's Susanoo. Hearing Nizuzu's words, everyone's eyes were fixed on Yamato. Yamato broke out in a cold sweat when he was stared at by everyone, scratched his head and said with a smile, "Well, you don't think my wooden escape ninjutsu can be compared with Master Hashirama, do you?" The so-called Mudden of the first generation conquered the world, and Yamato Mudden engaged in greening. Yamato is an artificial human cloned by Danzo using the cells between the columns. Although Mudun also inherited the blood of Chinshozujian, neither the power of Mudden nor the amount of chakra can compare with that of Chinshozujian. Up to now, only Sima has been treated as a living horse doctor. Nara Shikahisa gritted his teeth, and said, "Our Ishikacho trio first find a way to control him, Yamato, try to use the wooden escape to surround him, and then find a way to find his weakness. We can only do this." Everyone looked at each other and agreed with Luju's suggestion. At this time, Minato and Kakashi, who were watching the play with Obito, suddenly said, "Minato-sensei, Kakashi, do you want to join my camp? Konoha is now rotten and hopeless, and the same is true for other ninja villages. Soon there will be a new ninja war in this ninja world. Join my camp, and I will lead you to create real peace in the ninja world, and there will be no more pain and war in the ninja world." Obito is persuasive and persuasive like a pyramid scheme leader, speaking the villain's standard black, deep and brainless lines. This man is crazy. All the ninjas present thought so, and felt their scalps go numb. Fourth generation adults. Only then did everyone realize that the yellow pineapple head wearing a cloak turned out to be the fourth Hokage Namikaze Minato, who had been dead for many years. Congratulations to the host for gaining 2 Yamato Fear Emotion value. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Hinata's Fear Emotion value. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Nara Shikaku's Fear Emotion value of 2. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Kakashi's Embarrassment value of 2. Minato frowned when he heard Obito's words, and refused straight away. "Obito, now I'm under your control, you don't need to ask for my opinion. If you want to manipulate me to do things for you, I can't stop it. But I will never agree to join you, and you don't want to call me teacher. You and I have long since broken up. I am very disappointed with Muya Village today. I will not stop you from destroying Muya Village, but I will not want to start a war with you in the ninja world to create your so-called peace. Everything you said is just a crazy idea. Master 4 generations, you." When everyone heard that Namikaze Minato was going to draw a clear line with Konoha, they were immediately anxious. In their eyes, Minato, as the 4th Hokage, should protect Konoha village wholeheartedly. "You don't need to say anything." Minato glanced at Nizuru's group with emotionless eyes, and said, "You all used to be my old colleagues of Namikaze Minato. Why didn't you take care of Naruto after I died? Don't you all know that Naruto is my child?" This, Luju, Nizuzu and the others gave a wry smile, and were suddenly at a loss for words. It's not that they don't know what Sandai and Danzo have done to Naruto over the years. It's just that they all belong to Konoha's high-level circle, and they are all vested interests who are on the same boat as the 3rd generation, so naturally they will not fight against the 3rd generation for Naruto. Now being questioned by Namikaze Minato, he immediately felt his face burn. "Sensei Minato, A little shame flashed in Kakashi's eyes. He has been doing nothing these years. In fact, he has the closest relationship with Minato. However, he has not done anything for Naruto these years. Kakashi, you have your own path to go. Even if you don't help me, I don't blame you." Namikaze Minato said, "I still regard you as my disciple, as long as you don't become a person like Obito." Obito. Kakashi was very moved when he heard the words, and said, "Teacher, it's my fault for not taking good care of Naruto these years. I will definitely take care of Naruto's life in Konoha village in the future." "No need." Minato waved his hand and said, "I have drawn a clear line with Konoha, and Naruto will not have a good life here. I am going to take Naruto away and find a suitable place for Naruto to live in seclusion." Even if Kakashi took care of Naruto, the villagers' prejudice against Naruto had already formed, so Namikaze Minato didn't want his son to live in such a painful and discriminated environment. My lord, you can't take Naruto away. When Luju heard Namikaze Minato's decision, he became impatient. Just kidding, Naruto is Kyuubi's Jinchuriki, and Konoha intends to use him as the village's war weapon. If you just take him away, Konoha village will suffer a lot. Namikaze Minato saw what they meant, his eyes turned cold, and he said, why, Namikaze Minato, am not even qualified to take my son away. Kushina and I sacrificed our lives for Konoha, and that's how Konoha repays us. Is it just so unwilling to let Naruto go? Namikaze Minato's tone also became stern, and said, if any of you want to stop me, you can try it. Luju was scared when he heard it. Just kidding, how could they have the ability to stop the golden flashing Namikaze Minato? Teacher, you can just take Naruto with you, don't talk nonsense with them, they can't catch up with you at your speed. Obito said, as for you people, don't ignore me, let me send you to reunite with the Uchiha clan today. Namikaze Minato stopped talking nonsense, and a flying thunder god disappeared in place. Luju waited for the others to turn around in a hurry, but there was nothing they could do. Stop the lunatic Uchiha Obito first. Luju ordered and said. Kakashi, are you going to stop me too? Obito looked at Kakashi who was in a fighting stance and said so. Konoha killed your father, don't you hate Konoha at all? When Kakashi heard the words, there was a trace of pain and struggle in his eyes, but he still said firmly, Obito, no matter what, I will not betray Konoha village, you just give up. Then you are going to die. Obito shook his head regretfully, and manipulated Susanoo to rush towards Nara Shikaku and his group. He has a different position from Kakashi now, and he will not pretend to be a good person to persuade Kakashi. After all, the original Obito did all the bad things. Many people say that Obito is a madman who ruined the entire ninja world for a woman. However, the main reason for Obito is that he is desperate for this ninja system and wants to change it. It's just that the idea of letting all human beings be immersed in illusion is still too crazy. When I saw this plot before Obito traveled, I was already powerless to complain about the original author Masashi Kishimoto. Such a dark and disabled big boss, like Uchiha Madara, has been behind the scenes for so long. Whether it is Uchiha Obito or Uchiha Madara, they are like mentally retarded people who are fragile and want to escape the reality of the ninja world. Killing so many innocent people for this infinite monthly reading plan is really feeding shit to the readers. Highway is trying to revive his mother Otsutsuki Kagaya at any rate, which is very reasonable. You two are at the top of the ninja world after all. Are you thinking about it like this? Obito felt that the ones he was most sorry for were the Minato and his wife, which is true and inappropriate for Obito in the original work. Not only killed his master and wife, but also gave Naruto a painful childhood. Therefore, it is understandable that Minato harbors hatred towards him, and if it weren't for Minato being reincarnated under his control, I'm afraid he would have fought with him long ago. For those owed to Naruto's family, Obito can only resurrect Minato and Kushina to compensate them as much as possible in the future. As for his own plan, it should be realized and it must be realized. After all, he is a systematic traveler, so he can no longer be foolishly controlled by Highway, and even let the ninja world be destroyed by the later Otsutsuki clan. What's more, when Obito watched anime in his previous life, he felt that there were indeed many problems in this ninja system. As a minority group with high combat effectiveness, ninjas were completely serving the daimyos and nobles of the 5 major countries. The civilians in Ninja Village and the bottom of the country are not only exploited and oppressed, but also have serious taxes, and once a war breaks out between countries, most of the people who die are civilians. As for the will of fire mentioned by the 3rd generation of Konoha village, it is nothing more than a brainwashing method. Obito feels that Nagato's approach may not be without merit. Just like the nuclear deterrence between countries on the earth, dignity is only on the edge of the sword. Without the deterrence of major weapons, who will develop peacefully with you? And since Obito has crossed over and become a big villain, then he might as well subvert this ninja world completely. After all, the ninja world itself is not a place full of light and love. Come on, shadow gathering technique. Shikahisa Nara took the lead in using the shadow gathering technique. Change your own shadow into countless tentacles, be able to make flexible movements or manipulate objects. The tentacles turned into shadows hit Susanoo's outer armor, barely restricting Obito's movements. That's it, Obito said disdainfully, and manipulated Susanoo to quickly fly towards a group of ninjas in Konoha village. Shikiji Nara was not surprised but pleased when he saw this. Obito's Susanoo has a huge body, so his shadow is also very huge. Nara Shikahisa was worried that his own shadow could not touch his shadow, but he didn't expect the other side to come by himself. Shadow mimicry. Nara Shikahisa looked at the approaching Obito and lay down on the ground with a sliding shovel, letting his own shadow elongate and connect with Obito's shadow. This is a secret technique of the Nara family. It uses the shadow to force the opponent to do the same action as the caster, but first the opponent must be caught with the shadow, and the effect is only 5 minutes. The shadow can change its shape freely, but it cannot exceed the original area, and it can touch other shadows to increase the range. Laughing to death, another one who doesn't use his brain. Obito laughed angrily. Why are they all trying to restrain the huge Susanoo? Don't they think that Konoha breaking secrets can stop him? Get on it, I won't last long. I saw Nara Shikahisa trying hard to manipulate his own shadow, but Obito Susanoo struggled not to do the same movements as him, and he could even feel that it would not be long before Susanoo would get rid of the shadow restraint technique and regain his freedom. The technique of hyper-doubling. Aikido Dingza roared, and then his body swelled infinitely, reaching a height of more than 10 meters in a blink of an eye, close to Susanoo's knee. The Chudao clan has practiced the technique of multiplying their bodies to enlarge their bodies, which can be used in both attack and defense. It consumes a lot of calories. For example, Chudao Dingzo withered in 10 minutes after performing the super multiplication technique. What? Aikido Dingza let out a loud roar and jumped up high, but he could only jump to the position of Susanoo's chest, and Obito was also in Susanoo's chest. His arms and palms grew rapidly, and he swung his palm vigorously in the direction of Susanoo, hitting Susanoo's chest like the palm of a Tathagata. Boom! Obito only heard a dull bang, and the Susan armor in front of him was only slightly scratched by Akamichi Dingza's palm with all his strength. It can't be broken. Ding Zuo looked anxious. What kind of damage can he do if he can't even break the defense? And us. The oil girl in the back took the roots and summoned the parasites all over her body, and the parasites spread all over the surrounding sky in an instant, and the dark parasites gathered together to form a huge turbine. Send a bad turbo. The turbine formed by the parasites also quickly impacted on Susanoo's chest armor, and continued to add some cracks to Susanoo. Bagua 4 Sky Palm. Hinata Hyuzu saw that all the partners around him were working so hard, and as the head of Konoha's largest family, he couldn't paddle, so he rolled his eyes, his veins popped, and he also hit 4 gossip empty palms at Obito Susanoo. Bagua Kongzong uses the white eye as a sight, shoots compressed air through the soft fist, and hits the opponent within a medium distance, similar to the attack method of an air cannon. Bang 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 bang. 4 streams of air hit Susan's armor, which was about to be torn apart. Watching round after round of gua sha bombing, Obito also became impatient. It's not over, is it? Have you had enough trouble? Obito Kaleidoscope Sharingan opened, and cast an illusion on Shikaku Nara in front of him. Not good. Shikahisa Nara saw that Obito suddenly turned his Sharingan towards him, and was startled. Just as he was about to react, he fell under Obito's illusion. Although Obito's illusion is not as proficient as Itachi and Shisui, the Uchiha clan is good at illusion, and with the Kaleidoscope Sharingan, the power is not bad. That's how Obito manipulated Kyuubi back then. If Obito didn't take the initiative to dispel the illusion, Kyuubi would never be able to regain consciousness. And when Obito was in Wuin village before, he also used illusion to manipulate Yakura, causing Yakura to lose consciousness, and causing the blood of Wuin village to flow into a river of life after that. Don't forget me. Seeing that Nara Shikahisa fell into the illusion, and couldn't continue to trap Obito Susanoo with the shadow imitation technique, Yamato, who had the least sense of presence, jumped out immediately. Would escape tree bound eternal burial. After the seal of Yamato, vine-like saplings grew on the ground to wrap around Susanoo with the soil, and then grow into a big tree, trying to press Susanoo's body under the tree. Because this ninjutsu is wood escape, even if the opponent knows how to use earth escape, he cannot escape. However, due to the long activation time of this technique, the opponent must be trapped first, otherwise the opponent may still escape when the sapling surrounds him. In the battle between Yamato and the Earth Escape Ninja Fudo, Yamato used a trick to sink Fudo into the mud, and then wiped out his opponent in one fell swoop with a wooden binding. But Susanoo in front of him is huge, Yamato doesn't need to consider this at all. Ridiculous, do you think you are Senju Bashirama? Obito felt Yamato's Mutune trees entangled Susanoo, and dragged Susanoo down to bury him in the ground. However, the power of Yamato's wooden ninjutsu is definitely far worse than that of the first generation of Hokage Senjujuma, so it is only the limbs of Obito Susanoo that are unable to move. Ha, if I can't do it. Kakashi-senpai, it's up to you. Yamato looked like his body was hollowed out after performing such a huge wooden ninjutsu. Kakashi next to him was stunned. How could this guy be weaker than him? Well, it's time for me to get to know Obito as well. Kakashi looked firmly at Obito in Susanoo. He knew that he would never be Obito's opponent, and he would never be able to kill Obito. But Kakashi still has to attack Obito with all his strength without fear, because this is his responsibility as the guardian of Konoha Murakami. Kakashi rushed forward quickly, then jumped onto the tree summoned by Yamato, and jumped onto the Susanoo step by step on the vines of the tree. Obito, here I come. Kakashi jumped onto Susanoo's chest. Looking at the shattered Susanoo armor in front of him, Kakashi used his self-made ninjutsu again. Rachel, the lightning like a spider web spread from Kakashi's arm, and Kakashi also rushed heavily towards Susanoo's chest. It's this trick again, Kakashi, you are copying the ninja anyway, there is nothing else except this trick. Obito's expression did not change. In his opinion, this group of people were like ants, and they did not pose any threat to him. Bang bang bang. The sound of Susanoo's armor breaking continued, and Kakashi actually broke Susanoo's armor and came to Obito. It's great to have the courage to challenge me, but that's all I can praise you for. Obito imitated Uchiha Madara's tone of voice. Fire escape, bursting wind and dancing. Like Kakashi, Obito also has his own ninjutsu. Obito combines Kaleidoscope Sharingan with fire ninjutsu. First, he uses the divine power to distort the surrounding space and trigger a swirling storm, and then uses Fire Dun to spit out a spinning fire snake from his mouth. The scrolling storm and the spinning fire snake form a huge flame vortex. Zizizi. The huge vortex of flame roared towards Kakashi. Kakashi shrank his pupils and squatted down. Too done too luby. Kakashi summoned a huge earth flow wall to block in front of him. Relying on the fact that soil is almost incombustible to flames, most of the power of this ninjutsu with soil was really blocked by Kakashi. However, a small part of the fire wave crossed the mud flow wall and burned on Kakashi's body. Kakashi leaned over and rolled on the ground a few times before barely extinguishing the flames. After getting up, the ninja clothes on Kakashi's body were already charred black, and some of the white hair on his head was burned off. He looked extremely embarrassed. Foo. Obito, I know I'm not your opponent, but if you want to hurt Muya village, you have to step over my corpse first. Kakashi was panting in embarrassment, but he still looked at Obito firmly. I won't kill you so easily, Kakashi. I want you to witness Konoha's destruction by me, and then consider whether to kill you. Obito said with a villainous air. Then I will definitely stop you even if I lose this life. Kakashi's eyes turned hard, and the 5 imprints Yin Mao Shu Wei Chun quickly formed on the palm of his hand. Wind escape, wind cut technique. Kakashi condensed several gusts of wind vortex in front of him, and then rushed towards Obito at the same time. There are countless small wind blades in the vortex of the wind cutting technique, and ordinary people will be cut into several pieces in no time. Mew da. Kakashi, your ninjutsu power is too weak. Obito turned on the blur, and passed through Kakashi's wind cutting technique directly. Then Obito gave Kakashi a heavy kick on Kakashi's shoulder with a thunderous momentum, and directly kicked Kakashi out of Susanoo. Boom! Kakashi's body hit the ground, and Kakashi managed to half kneel to stabilize his figure by relying on several rolls to unload the force. Call, Obito. Kakashi looked at Obito with a painful expression. It seemed that he was destined to be unable to stop him from destroying Konoha. After playing with you for so long, I am also a little tired, this game should be over. Obito stretched his waist, and then made a mudra with both hands. Fire escape Longyan art of singing. Obito sprays out 5 fire dragons from its mouth to attack the targets below from up, down, left, right, and 5 directions. Hyuga Hijuru and the others looked horrified when they saw the huge fireball spraying towards themselves and the others. Bring Lu Ju, let's get out of here quickly. Only tens of meters away in the sky, Rizuo could feel the scorching fire wave. Gossip empty palm. Rizu slapped one of the fire dragons, and as a result, his own airflow was directly swallowed, while the fire dragon was almost intact. Go! Rizu and Yunbi Kyujin could only quickly leave their original positions. And Akamichi Dingza quickly ran away with the unconscious Nara Shikahisa on his back. Hey, why are you running away? Yamato saw that a group of teammates ran away, and saw that the fire dragon was about to be shot down. If he was hit, he would be turned into ashes directly. Withdraw. The output is gone, why is he still keeping this control? In less than a few minutes, Yamato has almost exhausted his chakra. Yamato resolutely gave up maintaining Mewtwo ninjutsu, and helped Kakashi not far away, and ran away in embarrassment. Drink. Without the blessing of Yamato chakra, Obito's Susanoo could easily break free from the entanglement of the trees. The trees and vines were broken inch by inch and fell to the ground, and were burnt to ashes by the fire dragon following in a blink of an eye. The entire Hokage office building was turned into a sea of flames. Danzo, who was watching the show in the root organization in the distance, also began to look ugly at this time. He didn't feel sorry for the cost of rebuilding the Hokage office building. Now the key issue is to prevent Uchiha Obito from destroying Konoha. A group of useless idiots, do you really want me to take action? Danzo's eyes were gloomy, and Obito Uchiha's strength is not bad. He estimated that even if he made a move, he would have to use Izanagi many times and lose a lot of Sharingan. And these are the capital for him to compete for the position of Hokage. Yamato, why did you run away? Seeing that Obito was out of trouble, Hyuga Hyuzu said to Yamato very dissatisfied. Senior Rizu, you are too shameless, obviously you ran away first, and now you are accusing me. Yamato's face darkened, and he retorted unceremoniously. Aren't those old guys from Danzo and Lake Biwa coming out yet? Obito has been making trouble in Konoha for so long, and these rookies have come out, and he is also dissatisfied in his heart. I don't know if Jiraiya Orochimaru and Tsunade are in Konoha now. Obito guessed in his heart that according to the temperament of the other two, they might not come back after Konoha turned to ashes. However, Jiraiya still cares about Konoha very much. Although Jiraiya didn't come out when Sandai was killed by Orochimaru in the original book, it's just that he didn't want Sandai to continue to serve as Hokage, and he still desperately guarded Konoha Jiraiya. In the current situation, it can only be said that Sanin is not in the village, and Danzo, the old Yinbi, is probably still observing secretly. Forget it, just kill Konoha directly. Obito can also hit the top. For the decaying village of Konoha, Obito doesn't like it. It doesn't take much trouble to rebuild a ninja village after it is destroyed. Shadow Clone Technique. Obito released the forbidden jutsu created by the second generation of Hokage Sensho Fama in the original book, which is the ninjutsu that Naruto used most in the early stage. Bang bang bang. Obito separated into 5 clones. And Obito is now in Susanoo mode, so summoning the shadow clone is naturally in Susanoo mode, so the chakra consumption is also huge, and it would be unaffordable if Obito hadn't obtained the system's chakra rewards before. This is so. When Danzo saw this scene, the kaleidoscope Sharingan in the bandage on his left eye almost popped out. Originally, he wanted to go out and try to fight against Obito, but when he saw this scene, he immediately gave up. This group of people can't beat 1 Susanoo, let alone 6 Susanoos. Now, except for the resurrection of the first generation of Chinsho Zujian, otherwise, the group of them together would not be enough to fight with Obito. You can't afford cheating, can you? Seeing this scene, Hinata shuddered all over, and felt that the whole person was wilted. Just kidding, now they all have to explain here, this time it is really barbecue. Kakashi wasn't surprised to see this scene. After all, he was numb from what happened today, and he knew about Obito's strength. He knew that it was impossible for them to stop Obito. He simply sat down cross-legged, closed his eyes and waited for death. Yamato on the side saw that Kakashi was smashed directly, and he could only smile wryly. He saw that the 6 Susanos had also lost their will to fight. Come on, keep dancing. Obito's condescending voice sounded. A group of people swallowed their saliva and were speechless. Akamichi Dingza carried Nara Shikahisa on his shoulders. After Obito's voice, Shikaku was startled awake, and slowly opened his eyes. Seeing the 6 Susan giants in front of him, he rolled his eyes, couldn't catch his breath, his heart and lungs stagnated, and passed out again. HMPH, can't you even dance? How ugly. Obito found that Uchiha Madara's lines were too pretentious, and the more he said it, the more addictive he became. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 3 points of Kakashi's bad mood. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 2 Nara Shikaku's despair points. Congratulations to the host for gaining 2 points of Yamato helplessness. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 2 emotional points in Chudao Dingzuo. Congratulations to the host for gaining 1 Hinata emotional points. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 2 emotional points. It's really boring, you guys should go to die and harvest it with 1 knife. Just when Obito was about to kill the few people in front of him, a green spot in the sky rushed towards him. Is this? Obito looked in the direction of the green dot suspiciously, only to see that green dot smashed towards his Susanoo like a meteorite. Thief, eat me with a move to stimulate Konoha Vajra Power Whirlwind. A rough and powerful voice sounded, and this green figure also kicked Obito's Susan. Boom! Obito's Susanoo was kicked so crookedly that he almost lost his footing, and there were tiny cracks where he was kicked. My Susanoo looks like a blue plastic bag. Obito's face was gloomy, and he could see who was coming. The green figure kicked Susanoo, then turned over and landed on the ground with the help of the recoil. K, you're finally back. After Kakashi saw Kai, his eyes regained their luster. Yeah, I didn't expect that there would be enemies invading Muya village when I went out of the village to perform a mission. Kai said with a long breath. As Konoha's blue beast, I must let the enemy taste the power of my physical skills. Hinata Hijuru and the others at the side smiled bitterly when they saw Madokai coming back. Hinata said. Kai, actually it's useless if you come back, this time the enemy is not something we can deal with. Hearing this, Madokai asked curiously, that's right, who is this blue-armored giant? I haven't seen this kind of ninjutsu yet. Hinata Hijuru explained. This is the pupil technique of the Uchiha family's kaleidoscope Sharingan, Susanoo, and the other party has separated 5 shadow clones, and now there are 6 Susanoo in total. A few of us teamed up just now and couldn't defeat 1 Susanoo, let alone 6, even the 3rd generation has been seriously injured and sent to the hospital. What? Kai gasped when he heard this, and the eyes that looked at Susanoo became serious. If it really doesn't work, I have no choice but to open the dead door in the 8-door Dunjia to stop the opponent. Who is this enemy? You just mentioned the Uchiha clan, but Uchiha Sasuke is the only one left in the Uchiha clan. Could it be that Uchiha Itachi is back? Kai can only think of the remaining Uchiha brothers. No, you also know this person, Obito, who used to be in the same class as me. Kakashi explained. What, Obito Uchiha? But wasn't he buried and sacrificed by a boulder in the Battle of Kanobi Bridge? Kai was very surprised. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 3 Matekai shock mood points. Kakashi sighed with a complicated expression. Back then, I thought that Obito died there. I didn't expect that not only did he not die, but his strength increased greatly. Seeing that we are not his generals, the most important thing is that he has no feelings for Konoha now. He is already Konoha's mortal enemy. Kai said solemnly. I don't care who he is, whoever violates Muya village, I will destroy it. So Kai turned his head and shouted at Obito of Susan with a heroic face. Obito Uchiha, I don't care why you came to invade Konoha village, if you dare to invade, you will be defeated. Spend it, my youth. Obito frowned when he looked at Kai, who was clamoring below. He really didn't calculate that Kai would rush people. Originally, he thought that Kai, like Sanin, would leave the village and would not come back in a short time. Madokai is indeed a difficult figure, at least for now. Obito does not want to fight him. If Kai opened the last door of death among the 8 Dunjia, Obito would be in trouble today. In the original book, Madara had already reached the 6th level, but he was beaten by Kai, who opened the door to death, and in the end he was kicked off half of his body by Yifa Yekai. Moreover, Kai's Yikai can distort the space because of his high speed, that is to say, his blur can't avoid his kick, Madara lost half of his body, and his Susanoo blue plastic bag can't stop it. Even if he has an immortal body now, he might lose his fighting power after taking that kick with Obito. It seems that we have to moisten first. Obito confessed in his heart, and planned to leave first, just in time to see where Minato took Naruto and draw them into Akatsuki's organization. Cough. Kei let out a roar and folded his arms above his head. Then a green chakra wave appeared from his body, and he shouted, "Sixth scene gate, open." Then the same movement continued, and the blue chakra emerged from his body again, picked up the Longines, and shouted, "Seventh shocking door, open." No, Brother Ching has knocked on Grandma Lee's door. When Obito was playing the Naruto mobile game in his previous life, Ninja Kai opened the door, so he didn't have to play in one game. Therefore, seeing Kai Obito with blue chakra all over his body still has a psychological shadow. Kai stopped when he reached the startled door. He wanted to have a fight with Obito first. If it was not necessary, he would not open the dead door. After all, he is not an old lady who eats arsenic looking for death. HMPH. Konoha Village. Next time I will definitely destroy Konoha. Obito was discouraged, shouted a few harsh words, and then directly lifted the shadow clone technique in Susanoo, opened the Kamui space without delay, got in and left. Day Tiger. Why did he leave? When Kai was about to send out the air cannon body art, Ritora, he saw Obito leaving directly. I opened the door in surprise, but you just got wet. Kai's face was flushed red from being aggrieved. How did this guy go? My youth hasn't been unleashed yet. Kai also consumed a lot of chakra and stamina when he opened the startling door, and the whole person would wilt instantly after such a toss. I don't know either. Kakashi was also surprised. No, why did Obito leave suddenly? Logically speaking, it shouldn't take much effort for him to beat a group of us. Kai, could it be that you beat Obito out of your psychological shadow when you were young? Kakashi could only guess like this. No, I remember that I didn't fight him a few times when I was in school, but I won every time. Kai finished the shock, lost all strength in an instant, and collapsed to the ground panting. Kakashi, Hinata Hijuru and the others waited for a while but did not see Obito coming back. The hanging heart finally let go, and instantly felt the tiredness and pain of the body, and Jeyu lay on the ground one by one. No matter what, Konoha's crisis is finally over. Hyuga Hazu let out a long sigh of relief. Kakashi sighed, but the gap in strength between us and Obito is too great. If he comes to invade Konoha village again, I'm afraid we still won't be able to stop him. Nara Shikahisa finally woke up again and said, "Is it over?" Yamato said speechlessly, "That's right, Senior Lu Ju, did you deliberately not wake up just now, and fished on purpose?" "Ahem, how is it possible? I'm not that stupid son of my family." Lu Ju coughed twice with a reddish face. "How about this, when Master Sandai wakes up and is out of danger, we will report the situation to him, and Danzo-sama, let's also report to him." Nara Shikahisa sighed. "Konoha, I'm afraid it will be uneasy in the future." On the other hand, Naruto Uzumaki had just bought a few packs of expired ramen and returned home when he saw a man with a yellow pineapple head in a cape sitting on a stool in his house. "You, who are you?" Naruto thought there was a thief at home, so he quickly took out the kunai in his school bag, held it in his hand, and threatened the pineapple head in front of him. "If you dare to come to my house to steal money, believe it or not, I will send you to Konoha's prison." Minato was stunned by Naruto's movement, and then walked up to Naruto expressionlessly, and put away his kunai under Naruto's fearful eyes. "Naruto, I'm going to take you away now." Minato smiled at Naruto, and immediately took Naruto's hand. "Take me away. Hey, where are you taking me?" Naruto was surprised and wanted to break free from Minato's hand, but the strength of Minato was not something Naruto could resist. "Who the hell are you? Why do I feel familiar when I see you?" Hearing Naruto's words, Minato felt a pain in his heart, but still smiled at Naruto, pointed to the cloak behind him, and said, "Did you see, Naruto, I am the fourth Hokage." Naruto was taken aback, and after seeing the big characters written on the cloak, he shouted in disbelief, "You are the fourth Hokage." "Impossible, the fourth Hokage has been dead for many years." "Well, it's a long story. Anyway, I'll take you away first. Saying that, Minato grabbed Naruto's arm and carried Naruto onto his back. Hey, where are you taking me? Naruto couldn't break free from Minato's arm, so he could only swing his body back and forth on his back. Originally, Naruto was surrounded by Anbu to monitor, which was naturally arranged by Midai, but today, because Midai was slashed by Obito and was seriously injured, Anbu was not in the mood to care about Naruto, and they all ran to repair the Hokage office building or watch Sandai. Even if Anbu came over, he would definitely not be Minato's opponent. Sit still. After Minato finished speaking, he activated the Flying Raijin Jutsu and left Konoha village with Naruto leaving afterimages. But in just a few tens of seconds, Minato carried Naruto to a forest outside Konoha village. Naruto stared blankly at the scene in front of him. Just now the man was flashing back and forth with his back on his back. Naruto only felt ups and downs on his back for a while, and the two of them went outside the village. Is this outside Muya village? Yes, Naruto, we have already left Konoha village. Minato said softly to Naruto. Let go of me, who are you and why did you arrest me out of the village? Naruto yelled immediately after learning that he had left Konoha village. Help, come quickly, some enemies have entered the village. Naruto, I'm not an enemy, I'm here to take you away. Minato said seriously. I've seen everything you live in Muya village, I don't want you to live in such a dark place all your life. What does this have to do with you? Naruto said angrily. I'm going to be Hokage's man, and I will never betray Konoha village with you, so you should die. Minato listened to Naruto's words, and a wry smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Hokage, how ridiculous. The so-called Hokage has dedicated everything for the village, but he can't even protect his family. Minato stared at Naruto, and said word by word, Naruto, you are fine, I am not an enemy, I am your father, and my name is Namikaze Minato. Father. Naruto was stunned. In his mind, he had lived a life of being discriminated against and insulted for more than 10 years. Everyone called him a monster orphan who received 1,000 knives. He had never experienced any family affection at all. No, you lied to me. I am an orphan. I have no parents. They are dead long ago. Naruto glared at Minato angrily. It seems that the third generation hasn't told you anything these years. Yes, I misread him after all. Minato sighed and said, Naruto, do you know why the villagers have been hostile to you all these years? Naruto was stunned. He also wanted to know this question. If he hadn't been too lonely because he was excluded before, he would not have thought of using pranks to attract others' attention. Why? He asked subconsciously. This starts from the night when Nine Tails attacked Konoha village. Minato calmly told Naruto about the battle between the fourth Hokage and the mysterious masked man that night. In the end, when Minato talked about fourth Hokage and his wife Kushina sealing Kyuubi with their lives, Naruto was already in tears. The fourth Hokage is really great, so in that case, I am. Yes, you are the baby who sealed Kyuubi in the fourth Hokage, Jinchuriki of Kyuubi, and also the orphan left by Uzumaki Kushina and I. Minato looked at Naruto with pity, and gently stroked his hair. Before I died, I entrusted Sandai Hokage to take care of you. I didn't expect that instead of giving me this favor, he and Danzo spread the news that you were Renjiriki to the villagers, so that the villagers thought you were a demon fox, and even withheld all the inheritance I left you. After hearing this, Naruto just burst into tears and remained silent for a long time. It took a long time for Ming to raise his head and said, It's a lie. It's all a lie. I'm just an ordinary orphan, not a fourth-generation orphan. Grandpa Hokage of the third generation has always been very kind to me. He comes back to see me every month and gives me living expenses. He is not what you said. When it came to the end, Naruto broke down and shouted, You are a liar, and Konoha village is not like this. It is my dream to become Hokage and be recognized by everyone. I will not allow you to tarnish Hokage. Naruto. Minato looked at the tearful Naruto with distress, but he didn't know how to comfort him. In fact, from the moment he sealed the 9 tails in Naruto's body, he thought about how to explain to him when he met Naruto again in the future. In any case, he was sorry for Naruto when he sealed the 9 tails in Naruto's body. Naruto, I'm sorry, it's all my father's fault, it's my father who sealed the 9 tails in your body, which caused you to suffer so much. Minato said in a low voice. You are not my father. Naruto roared. Sealing 9 tails in his son's body has made me suffer so much for so many years. I will not admit that this kind of person is my father. Hey, brat, you're going too far. The Kamui space appeared behind Naruto, and Obito walked out from it. Obito looked at Naruto, who lost his mind and collapsed in front of him and frowned. It seems to be the butterfly effect caused by some things I have done. In the original book, Naruto and Minato met when the seal was triggered when the Kyuubi was conquered. At that time, Naruto had already experienced in the ninja world for several years, and he had a sense of recognition with Kakashi Iruka. Has a bond with Sasuke. There is a master-student relationship with Jiraiya. And Hinata's love. The most important thing is that after defeating Pain, he has gained the approval of the villagers. But now Naruto has nothing but the hatred and resentment towards the villagers in the past 12 years, and it is normal that he cannot accept Minato. Obito, are you still coming? Minato saw that Obito appeared behind him with an ugly face, stood up and stopped Naruto, and said, Obito, I will not allow you to do any bad things to Naruto, even if I am reincarnated by you and manipulated by you. Even though Minato spoke very hard, Minato still knew in his heart that if Obito really planned to do something to Naruto, he might not be able to stop him. Minato-sensei, don't worry, I won't hurt Naruto, I'm not a big villain after all. Obito said with a smile. Who are you? Why did you appear suddenly? Naruto looked at Obito curiously. He didn't know Obito's identity, he just felt that the man who suddenly appeared wearing Akatsuki's robe was quite impressive. Well, this question, I just use the number of people in time and space, so it can appear directly across space. Obito scratched his head and explained. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Uzumaki Naruto's excitement value of 1. As expected of the protagonist, the child of the plane is different. A small psychological fluctuation can provide so much emotional value. Obito looked at Naruto with more gentle eyes. As for who I am, just now your father told you what happened the night you were born. Obito's expression changed, and he said, and I was the masked man who attacked Muya village that night and released 9 tails to wreak havoc on Muya village. Obito, you. Hearing what he said, Minato immediately became anxious, with a sullen look on his face. Obito, if you have anything to do, just come to me, don't tell Naruto those things. Minister Minato, you think your son is too weak. After all, you still think that I will harm him. Take Soil Road, isn't it? A person who betrayed the village and killed his master, how can I believe him? Minato said with a gloomy face. And Naruto at the side heard the conversation between the two. His brain had already shut down, and he stood there stupidly, not knowing what he was thinking. Naruto. Seeing Naruto's situation, Minato squatted anxiously in front of him, clapped his hands on his shoulders, and looked at him with concern. Let me go. Naruto came back to his senses and roared angrily. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 5 Uzumaki Naruto's rage emotion value. He turned around and stared at Obito fiercely, and said in a word, is what you just said true? Yes, your father is the 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato, and I used to be his disciple. That night, I released Kyuubi while your mother was sick, which indirectly caused the death of your parents. Why are you doing this? Naruto covered his head in pain and growled. Naruto's body began to exude a tyrannical aura, and a dark and tyrannical dark red chakra that did not belong to him slowly overflowed from his body. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 5 Uzumaki Naruto's rage emotion value. Where is this? Naruto just felt that he was so angry that he lost his mind, but when he came back to his senses, he found that he had come to a dark place. Little devil, come here quickly. A deep voice suddenly sounded in Naruto's ear, and Naruto felt as if there was an attraction guiding him to walk in the direction of that voice. When Naruto got closer, Naruto was surprised to find that there was a huge iron railing in front of him, and there seemed to be a huge figure in the iron cage. Yes, let's go a little further. The voice sounded again. Naruto subconsciously walked towards the iron cage. This is. Suddenly Naruto's pupils shrunk, because he saw that what was locked in the iron cage was actually a fox covered in orange and red, with a huge blue face and fangs. What monster are you? Naruto fell to the ground screaming. No, I know, you are 9 tails. Naruto remembered what Minato had told him just now, and immediately became frightened. That's right, my uncle is Kyubi. Kyubi raised his head to the sky and screamed, roaring angrily, I have been trapped in you brat for 12 years. First it was you mother Uzumaki Kushina, and now it is you again. It is your family that made me lose his freedom. Naruto was stunned by the scene in front of him, and when he came back to his senses, he stood up with his weak legs, turned his head and ran. HMPH, want to run away. Kyubi snorted disdainfully, the current Naruto is just a brat with no fighting power. He tried his best to guide Naruto here, how could he let him escape again? The huge chakra with 9 tails quickly spread out from between the iron bars of the cage like a Red Sea wave, and then entangled Naruto Uzumaki who wanted to escape. Masked man, you finally reappeared after so many years, and I will use this kid's body to collect debts from you today. Kyubi let out a deafening roar. Just now he felt a familiar aura in Naruto's body. Obito said that again and he understood that Obito was the masked Uchiha man who manipulated him back then. The Uchiha family is his most hated object for the 9 lamas. Whether it was the former Uchiha Madara who pinched him with one hand and Susanoo with one hand, and manipulated him to fight with Senju Zujian, or Uchiha Obito, he suffered a great shame. Therefore, Kyubi did not hesitate to find Naruto's consciousness in advance, wanting to avenge this enemy. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 4 9 Lama Rage mood points. Is 9 Tails awake? It's interesting. The corner of Obito's mouth twitched slightly after hearing this. No, 9 Tails wants to break through the seal. When Minato saw the abnormality on Naruto's body, he knew that Kyubi was dishonest again, and his face turned pale with shock. Just as Minato was about to contact Naruto to stop Kyubi, he found that his body movements were restricted by Obito and couldn't move. Obito, don't go too far, if you dare to hurt Naruto, even if I'm a ghost, I won't let you go. Minato gritted his teeth and stared at Obito, and the dignified 4th Hokage could only yell furiously. Don't worry, Minato-sensei, I'm helping Naruto solve his troubles. Obito waved his hand and didn't explain anything. He was indeed drawing out the Kyubi from Naruto's body, and took this opportunity to help Naruto initially control the Kyubi's power. After a few short breaths, Naruto raised his head again. The difference was that Naruto had already grown fangs and claws like a fox, and a dark red chakra fox tail grew behind him. Roar! Naruto glared at Obito and roared angrily. This is the one-tail pattern. Obito looked at the appearance of Naruto in front of him, and compared it with the original work, which is the one-tail model. Uchiha's fool, I finally met you again. Kyubi has manipulated Naruto's mind at this time, roaring at Obito. 9 Tails, you're still so impatient. Obito was unmoved, smiled lightly, and said, it seems that you have forgotten the fear of being controlled by my kaleidoscope Sharingan back then, dare to talk to me like that. Hearing this, a trace of psychological fear flashed in Juwei's heart, but he still roared unyieldingly, my uncle will no longer be controlled by your illusion. After that, he controlled Naruto's body and ran with all 4 limbs. Death. Naruto's body ran to a position about 10 meters in front of Obito, and he flicked his forelegs violently, and ejected 9 Tails chakra claws towards Obito. It's annoying, please be quiet for a while. Obito's Sharingan slowly rotated and turned into a kaleidoscope of Sharingan, looking at Naruto's eyes and launching an illusion. The next moment, Naruto popped out his chakra claws and stopped immediately. It's still nothing more than that, it's still the same. Obito looked at Kyubi, who was easily controlled by him again, and slowly raised a question mark. Kyubi is too reckless, but this is just right, he can directly help Naruto absorb the power of Kyubi. At this time, within Naruto's body, Naruto's consciousness had just been sealed in a dark space by the 9 lamas. Suddenly, Naruto, who was in a coma, felt a ray of light and slowly woke up, trying to stretch out his arms to get out. Little devil, it's your turn to play now. Kyubi's deep voice suddenly exploded in Naruto's ears. Kyubi, where is this place? Let me out quickly. Naruto yelled anxiously at the dark space around him when he heard 9 Tails' voice. The 9 lamas came prepared this time. The last time they suffered from the Obito kaleidoscope Sharingan illusion, the 9 lamas have also searched for the solution countless times over the years. Generally speaking, there is almost no way to crack the illusion of kaleidoscope Sharingan. Except for the illusion masters such as Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Shisui, there is only such an existence as Jinchuriki. Because there is a tailed beast in his body that can send him chakra, he can crack the illusion. Therefore, the 9 lamas talked about his method, Nirenjuli illusion technique cracking method. To put it simply, it is to let Naruto become violent to fight under the influence of his chakra, and then he can send chakra and increase blood to Naruto in Naruto's body to ensure Naruto's combat effectiveness. Naruto, do you hate that man outside? It was he who used the kaleidoscope to control me back then, which led to your parents having to seal me in your body with a ghoul seal. Upon hearing this, Naruto covered his head and shouted in pain, enough is enough, don't say any more. Uzumaki Naruto, do you want to take revenge on him? If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be locked in your body, your parents wouldn't die, and you wouldn't have such a painful past. Nine Tails continued to be persuasive. Stop talking. Naruto was gradually eroded by the tyrannical chakra of the 9 tails, and the whole person gradually lost his mind. Accept my chakra, Naruto. Only I can understand you, and I will help you avenge those who have hurt you. Kyuubi struck while the iron was hot, and in the end, this sentence made Naruto let go of his last rationality and vigilance, and his mind was completely eroded by Kyuubi's chakra. Success. There was a hint of a tricky smile on the corner of Juwei's mouth. Now it's right. In this way, Uzumaki Naruto has been fully eroded by his chakra and turned into a beast that only knows how to fight, and he can manipulate Naruto to fight in his body. Obito outside also noticed the changes in Naruto's body, and could not help but narrow his eyes slightly. It seems that Kyuubi has made some progress. It's really difficult for him to come up with such a way to deal with the kaleidoscope Sharingan illusion after all these years. Naruto Uzumaki's body is still overflowing with 9 tails dark red chakra. The difference is that this time the chakra's color is darker and its breath is more violent. Ho-a-ho! Naruto kept roaring, and the chakra coat kept wrapping his body, and gradually solidified, and finally Naruto's volume became bigger and bigger. And when the chakra basically stopped overflowing and wreaking havoc, Naruto has turned into a huge 4-tailed monster covered in dark red chakra, with a strange grimace-like face and low growls. Is this the 4-tailed form? Obito felt a little curious. In the original work, Naruto relied on the 4-tailed form and once defeated Orochimaru. 4 tails Naruto basically possessed the fighting power of 9 tails, able to eject the energy wave of virtual dog cannon, which is extremely powerful, and can also extend the raging chakra of 9 tails, which can be condensed into sharp claws or weapons. It can even spray tailed beast jade. 9-tailed beast jade is the most powerful among the 9-tailed beasts. 1/3 of the entire Konoha village will be destroyed in one shot. So when Namikaze Minato faced tailed beast jade, he could only use time and space ninjutsu to transfer it away, but did not dare to let it explode in Konoha village. Roar! 4 tails roared and rushed towards Obito. You're looking for death, how dare you use your axe for such a small skill? Obito activated the Susanoo state, and a huge blue armored giant appeared, grabbing 4 tails running underground. This human being couldn't open the Susanoo back then, how can he be like Uchiha Madara now? The 9 tails in Naruto's body turned pale with shock. Unexpectedly, Obito stopped playing tricks with him and used illusion to deal with him, and directly activated Susanoo's almost complete body. Looking at Obito Susanoo, Kurama recalled the fear of being dominated by Uchiha Madara. The man named Uchiha Madara was holding himself with one hand in a huge blue tall car. And the first generation Hokage named Senju Hashimama, who looks stupid but is actually very powerful, manipulated himself with a wooden dragon technique, and opened the 9-fold Rashomon to seal himself. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 3 9 Lamas panic emotion value. Grandma, I must not just sit and wait for death. The 9 Lamas roared, and quickly increased the output of chakra to Naruto's body. Roar! The 9 Lamas slammed on the iron railing door of the cage desperately, but the cage filled with ghouls was too strong. He desperately squeezed his own chakra and delivered it to Naruto, but the imprint of the ghoul seal on Naruto's abdomen began to flash, and gradually began to resist the erosion of the 9-tailed chakra. Minato, after being dead for so long, you still hinder me. 9 Lamas cursed angrily. In the end, under the consumption of this kind of pros and cons, a large part of the chakra of the 9 Lamas was sent to Naruto. Naruto's exterior also changed again. The chakra coat became darker red, and the number of tails gradually increased, turning into a six-tailed state. Dewey Tianlong, the evildoer will die. Obito ruthlessly manipulated Susanoo to give the 6-9 llamas a big fight, and the fan's six tails roared again and again. Uchiha humans. 9 llamas desperately sent chakra to Naruto. The whole body of a fox is going to be squeezed dry. Naruto grew bigger again, and eventually became the 8-tailed model. This is the state of Naruto and Tien Daochao's confrontation in the original book. Naruto in this state can't be sealed even by Nagato's Earth Explosion Star. Has extremely strong destructive power. Roar! Kurama screamed and struggled to stand up, gradually breaking free from Obito Susanoo's control. My uncle won't be suppressed by you. Kyuubi worked hard and finally escaped from Obito Susanoo's grasp. Good, great show. Obito has been using the kaleidoscope Sharingan to observe the situation in Naruto's body, and naturally he also saw what Kyuubi did just now. But unfortunately, it's over here. Illusion. As soon as Obito's kaleidoscope Sharingan turned, the eyes of Naruto outside suddenly became blurred. HMPH. It's useless, I can help this kid undo the illusion. Although Kurama was out of breath from buffing Naruto just now, he still stared fiercely at Obito outside. I'm coming in. After the words fell, Obito's spirit entered Naruto's sea of consciousness. Long time no see, 9 tails. It's you, the Uchiha clan, how did you get in here? Kurama was startled when he saw Obito across the cage railing. Immediately, she shrank back subconsciously, looking at him warily. Namikaze Minato sealed you in Naruto's body before he died. I know where Naruto's ghoul is sealed, and I have a kaleidoscope Sharingan. It is still very easy to invade other people's conscious world. Hateful evil Uchiha clan human beings, you were the one who caused misfortune to me back then. Kurama roared at Obito through the railing. Be quiet. After all, Obito used illusion on Kyuubi's consciousness. There was a little struggle in the eyes of 9 tails in the cage, and then gradually became gentle. The whole fox lay there and stopped moving. Then it's time to find Naruto. Obito walked along the accumulated water tunnel outside the cage. After walking for a long time, Obito finally saw Naruto's figure. Naruto was entangled by the chakra of the 9 llamas, and he lay there quietly and lost consciousness. Break. As soon as Obito's kaleidoscope Sharingan opened, the powerful consciousness attack instantly defeated the tyrannical 9 tails chakra beside Naruto. Illusion, solution. Then Obito once again undid the illusion that Naruto had caught just now, and Naruto gradually regained consciousness, and slowly opened his eyes. This is. Naruto only remembers that his mind was controlled by 9 tails chakra, and he only knew about crazy battles, and then he seemed to come to a fantasy world, where there were many beautiful girls playing games with him. It was really gentle. You are, the masked man. Naruto finally saw Obito in front of him, and he turned over in a jerk and faced Obito in a fighting posture. Naruto, you were manipulated by 9 tails chakra just now. Obito seemed to be a little dissatisfied and said. Naruto was stunned for a moment, and said, yeah, and I also went to a place where I was playing games with my beautiful sister, and suddenly woke up. That's the illusion I cast on you. How about it, is it enjoyable? Obito said playfully. Naruto remembered what happened in the environment just now, and his face became hot. It turned out to be you. What the hell are you trying to do? Naruto, do you hate me? Obito didn't answer Naruto's question, but instead asked. Naruto said hesitantly. Of course I hate you. It was you, the big villain, who killed my parents and caused me to be treated as a demon fox by Muya village, and I have been bullied for so many years. The main reason why I did that back then was that Konoha village was already decayed. For the ninja world, a new environment must be created. Obito believes that it is generally useful to lie to children and instill them with the theory of the second disease. Konoha village. Sure enough, Naruto fell silent when he heard this, for he had already seen too much of the dark side of Muya village. Even so, I don't understand why you killed my parents. Isn't my father your teacher? Naruto said and tears fell. I admit that killing your father for any reason is treasonous, but I must create the 9 Tails Rebellion. Obito said, do you know the Uchiha clan? Naruto nodded and said, I know, the Uchiha Sasuke, the most stinky guy in our class, is from the Uchiha clan. It is said that his brother killed all his family members, and he is the only one left. This is the result of the Nine Tails Rebellion. Obito said. During the Nine Tails Rebellion, it was only the Uchiha clan's kaleidoscope Sharingan illusion that controlled Nine Tails, so Konoha's high-level officials, whether it was Sarutobi Hiruzen or Shimura Danzo, could not help but suspect the Uchiha clan. And then, Naruto swallowed a mouthful of saliva and said. Afterwards, due to the troubles left over from the policy of the second generation of Senju Tomona, the suspicion of the Uchiha clan and other families in Konoha village became more and more serious. After that, a series of hawks headed by Shimura Danzo continued to suppress the rights and interests of the Uchiha clan. In the end, the Uchiha clan couldn't bear it anymore and planned to launch a coup to seize the highest power in Konoha. And Uchiha Itachi has always been a person who was brainwashed by the will of fire and peace of the third Hokage, so in the face of this situation, Uchiha Itachi chose, under the instigation of the third Hokage Hiruzuru Sarutobi, that is, killing relatives with righteousness, killing all members of the Uchiha clan, including his own parents. Naruto was silent. As the chief culprit who killed your parents, I don't want to explain anything. I'm waiting for you to take revenge on me, but I want to tell you that with your current strength, you are still far away. Naruto didn't speak, just clenched his fists and stared at Obito. See the nine tails over there. Obito pointed to the Kurama who fell into the illusion over there. I see, what's the matter? Obito said. Now Kyuubi has been controlled by me. I want to teach you how to control Kyuubi's power, do you dare to try? Ah, Naruto was shocked, he had seen the power of the nine lamas before, could this really be something he could control? Don't be surprised, as a Jinjuli, as long as you are properly guided, you will be able to control the power of the tailed beast sooner or later, but now I have moved this time forward a lot. It's true that I really want to control the power of Nine Tails, after all, he is so strong. Naruto scratched his head. But why did you help me? Obito took a deep look at him, and said in his heart, it's because you are the protagonist, I can't kill you so I can only build a good relationship with you, if I kill the protagonist, maybe the power of the plane will target him as a traverser. It's a compensation for your family these years. I know you believe me, and I don't ask you to believe me, but if you want to avenge me or Konoha, you must first have power. Naruto gave him a complicated look, and said, I see, what should I do? You wait. Obito's consciousness came out of Naruto's body, came to the outside world, and at the same time unlocked the restrictions of the door master. Obito, what did you do to Naruto just now? Minato saw all the changes that happened to Naruto just now, but he couldn't move and could only wait outside anxiously. I didn't do anything to him, I have temporarily controlled Nine Tails now, and persuaded Naruto to learn to control Nine Tails' power. Minato was stunned, and said, but Naruto is still young, how can he control the chakra of Nine Tails? Aren't you here now? As far as I know, you have your chakra in Naruto's body. Once Naruto wants to open the switch of the ghoul seal, your chakra will appear. Now you are here, you and I go to the seal in Naruto's body. Based on the sealing technique you have mastered and my kaleidoscope sharing eye illusion, Naruto can completely control the power of Nine Tails now. That's right, then I'll go with you now. Minato thought for a while, and felt that what Obito said made sense, and it would not be a bad thing for Naruto to master the power of Nine Tails earlier. Then the consciousness of the two came to Naruto's body. We're back. Obito brought Namikaze Minato to Naruto. Naruto looked at Minato with complicated eyes. Minato also felt a little embarrassed, not knowing how to face Naruto at this moment. Naruto, your father Namikaze Minato is also a master of sealing techniques, he can help you handle Kyuubi better. Namikaze Minato is indeed proficient in sealing techniques, most of which he learned from his wife Kushina Uzumaki. Minato is a real genius and can learn any ninjutsu quickly, unlike Naruto who is the 7th Hokage who doesn't even know a few fire ninjutsu. I see, then I will trouble you, Dad. Naruto said. Hearing Naruto calling him Dad, Minato's eyes were filled with relief, and he said quickly, no trouble, after all, it was me and your mother who made you Jinchuriku, so we will definitely help you control Kyuubi. Let's talk about the past later, let's go now. Obito interrupted the two of them and walked in the direction of the 9 lamas. The 2 people behind followed suit. The 3 came to the cage where Kyuubi was imprisoned. Obito said, Next, I will undo Kyuubi's illusion first, and then you, Minato-sensei, will let Naruto absorb Kyuubi's chakra. No problem. Minato nodded, ready to activate the sealing power. Immediately, Obito launched an illusion on Naruto, allowing Naruto to see Uchiha Itachi massacring in the Uchiha clan's residence on the night of the genocide. Naruto turned pale with fright. It's ridiculous to say that Uchiha Itachi can slaughter the whole family, but his love for his younger brother Uchiha Sasuke is so deep that he still can't do it. In the end, Itachi Uchiha and Hiruza Sarutobi of the third Hokage sacrificed the whole family in exchange for Sasuke's life. After that, Uchiha Itachi was naturally listed as a traitor by Konoha, and his younger brother Sasuke could only live in the pain of the hatred between his brother and Konoha's high-level lies. I don't know, what do you think of Uchiha Itachi? Naruto couldn't help but swear, this is a lunatic. How could he think this is love for Sasuke? I have secretly observed Sasuke many times, and I know that he is as lonely as me, and even more painful than me. I really can't understand why the whole family should be slaughtered for the peace of Konoha village. Yeah, aside from Uchiha Itachi's deformed love for Uchiha Sasuke and his pathological pursuit of peace, he is just a heinous fool who killed the whole family. Obito revealed this fact. What if I told you that the 3 generations of old men have been implementing the same brainwashing policy against you all these years? Instill in you his so-called will of fire, so that you have a sense of identity with Konoha village, as Konoha's Renjiriki will always serve Konoha. But, I haven't had a good life these years, isn't it all thanks to him and that Danzo? Naruto said bitterly. Obito explained. Yes, because you are often discriminated against by the villagers, you want the villagers to agree with you more and more. As long as the third Hokage Hiruza Sarutobi shows up and helps you, you will be grateful to him and want to become Hokage to let the villagers agree with you. You have fallen into his emotional trap. Naruto was taken aback, and said, it's really like this. Besides, if your father and I hadn't told you the truth about what happened back then, I'm afraid you wouldn't understand why you were discriminated against by the villagers for no reason. As the son of a hero, you shouldn't bear it at all. Obito Kaleidoscope Sharingan turned, and Kyuubi's eyes slowly regained their brilliance. As soon as he opened his eyes and saw the 3 people in front of him, Ju-Lama was furious. Uchiha people, everyone in the Uchiha family deserves to die. You be quiet, Obito said impatiently. We are going to help Naruto absorb your power now. If you get the truth, you should quickly submit to Naruto obediently, and it will save us from doing it. You are wishful thinking, Uchiha family evil guy. Ju-Lama roared. Obito sneered, pointed to the Minato next to him, and said, who is this you can watch it. Namikaze Minato took a step forward, pointed at Kyuubi's big head and shouted, Kyuubi, you are just a jig, please remember what I said, you are nothing, I will scold you at the door of this seal, you have the guts to bite me to death. Are you Namikaze Minato? Kyuubi blinked vigorously, speaking in disbelief. I only saw 3 people just now, but I didn't expect one of them to be Namikaze Minato, although it looks a bit weird. Seeing the appearance of Namikaze Minato, Kyuubi felt a little apprehensive, because he knew that Namikaze Minato had learned a lot of sealing techniques from his wife. Namikaze Minato, aren't you dead? Kyuubi was so frightened that his hair stood on his head. Impossible, the paw of my uncle back then, plus you sealed it with a ghoul, you should be dead. Unexpectedly, Grandpa came back alive. Minato grinned. Kyuubi rolled his eyes, thought of a plan, and said, Namikaze Minato, you don't know, it was this Uchiha guy who manipulated me to kill you and your husband. Can you bear it? If it were me, I couldn't bear it. I've known this for a long time. Namikaze Minato ignored Kyuubi's provocation, and said, I still have to listen to him now. You can't turn me against me by talking so much nonsense, let alone for my son Naruto now. Grandma, you play tricks on me, you all go to hell. Kyuubi became angry from embarrassment, and the dark red tsunami-like tyrannical chakra behind them rushed towards them. Seal, open. With an order from Minato, he opened the mechanism he had left behind in the ghoul seal. A moment later, a terrifying and powerful aura erupted from it. How is this possible? How could this be the result? Kyuubi roared in disbelief. Minato snorted coldly. There are still many things you don't know. You have to know that my son's talent is not just as simple as sealing. Sealing, I don't have to be afraid. But your sealing technique of this level can't help me at all. Kyuubi said arrogantly, and at the same time, the tide of dark red chakra behind him gathered higher and higher, as if trying to break through the shackles of the seal. Yes, Minato said disdainfully, and at the same time made a mudra with both palms, muttering something in his mouth. The art of sealing, the art of the 5 elements, seal. A huge black rune was printed on Minato's arm, and then it turned into a cloud of black mist and flew towards Nine Tails. The dark red chakra around Kyuubi's body instantly turned into pitch black. How is it possible? Are you a human or a ghost? How can you perform the sealing technique? How is this possible? Kyuubi said in disbelief. You forced me to do this. Minato shouted, and the dark red chakra on his body quickly gathered together and turned into a giant sword. Minato swung his huge sword and slashed fiercely at the black rune seal. In an instant, Kurama felt that his entire fox had been hit hard. Dirty soil reincarnation, the forbidden technique of the second Hokage Sensho Kaijian. Kyuubi, you don't know it. Obito reminded me by the side. The red chakra around Kyuubi's body was gradually suppressed back, and the entire body of the fox was stuck on the ground and could not raise its head. A golden figure appeared in the sealed space. It seems that Nine Tails wants to break through the seal. This figure is the energized Minato, a chakra that Minato left in Naruto's body back then. Ah, who are you? Minato, who had chakrized energy, was a little suspicious of life when he saw the 3 people standing here. Ahem, I am Obito Uchiha. Obito took off his mask and nodded to Minato. Obito, aren't you? Minato's eyes widened, and before he could speak, Minato said, I am also Minato Namikaze, reincarnated by Suzu. What am I? Minato couldn't complain anymore. Since the main body was reincarnated by the dirty soil, then his own energy body has no role to exist. Are you my dad too? The short winter melon, that is, Naruto, looked at Minato curiously. Watergate. Minato looked at Mizumin in a daze, and said, it seems that Naruto already knows about your existence. Yes, I told Naruto everything about that year. Dirty Minato nodded. Then it seems that there is no need for me to exist. I will return this trace of chakra to you. Minato spread his hands helplessly, turning into a chakra streamer and returning to the body of dirty Minato. Cough, Naruto, Obito. Minato casually threw out Flying Raijin Kunai, and Flying Raijin Kunai turned into a golden light and nailed it to Kyuubi's big head. Flying Thunder God Paragraph. In a blink of an eye, Minato came to the top of the 9 llamas, and then rubbed out a big jade spiral pill with his right hand. Spiral Wan, look at the move. Oh, I hate your damn. The 9 llamas were in pain, and although they didn't cause any substantial harm to him, they still made him very angry. Catch me, Naruto. Obito stretched out his right hand. Naruto hesitated for a moment, but obediently grabbed Obito's hand. Divine Power. Obito brought Naruto to Kurama through space distortion. Rise. Minato quickly made a few imprints with his hands, and then countless chains poured out from all directions in the cage, and the densely packed golden chains bound the huge body of Ju Lama in a blink of an eye. Asshole, Namikaze Minato, let go of this old man. Obito did not use illusion to control Kyuubi, so Kyuubi regained consciousness and found that he had been tied up by Minato. It's your turn, Naruto. Minato turned and shouted at Naruto. Oh, here we come. Naruto also ran over excitedly and grabbed Minato's hand. The ghouls are sealed and dispersed. Minato made a few marks again, and a seal mark on Naruto's belly suddenly began to glow. Then the countless golden chains tied to the body of the 9 llamas were quickly linked to the seal mark on Naruto's stomach. This is. Naruto was shocked, and looked at Minato with some fear. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Minato smiled gently, looked at Kyuubi in a blink of an eye and became serious again. With Naruto's current physical fitness and amount of chakra, the difficulty of subduing 9 tails may increase exponentially. Obito came over and said. Minato glanced at Obito, and said, this is what you have to do, Obito, it's best to use your illusion to make Kyuubi unable to fight for a while. The seal is still not safe. Obito said and made a few seals quickly. Haishuyu Shenwei. 5 layers of Rashomon. Rashomon is a kind of psychic art, which was first used by the first generation of Naruto to seal the 9 tails. Rashomon has the function of defense and anti-seal, but Rashomon can't move when summoned, and basically has no attack power. And different numbers of Rashomon can be summoned according to the amount of chakra of the caster. For example, if the Orochimaru is used, only the triple Rashomon can be summoned. Although it is not as good as the 5-stage Rashomon in Senjubashima, its power can temporarily control Kyuubi. 5 dark red gates full of death aura and ghostly images suddenly appeared in the sky above Nine Tails, and then lined up fiercely to suppress Nine Tails. Fool, let go of me. Kyuubi was startled and angry. This Uchiha clan can actually know this kind of 6th ninjutsu, whether it is Susanoo or Rashomon. This reminded him of the horrible memories of being manipulated by Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara in the past. That's great, now Nine Tails can't jump. Minato also nodded in satisfaction. Then there was a touch of sadness in his eyes, and he sighed and said, speaking of which, I should let Kushina come out. After all, the reason why I gave up my life and chose to kill the dead was to let Kushina meet Naruto again. Naruto on the side was also very excited when he heard it, and said, Dad, do you mean that my mother can appear again? Do you want to see your mother? I'll call her out now. Watergate laughed. Then Minato found the trace of chakra that belonged to Kushina in the seal. With a flash of red light, Kushina's figure also appeared in the sealed space. A beautiful red-haired young woman appeared in front of everyone. This Kushina is really in good shape, especially that pair. Obito glanced at it twice, and secretly sighed in his heart that Minato is really blessed. Kushina is good at everything, but his temper is a bit too grumpy. It seems that Nine Tails wants to loosen the seal and escape. As soon as Jushina's consciousness appeared, he knew that there was something wrong with the seal. Hey, there are a lot of people. Kushina was a little surprised to see the 3 people standing in front of her. Are you, Minato? Jushinai was naturally very pleasantly surprised to see Yongdame, but she was a little puzzled seeing his scarred face. Minato, what's going on with you now? It stands to reason that Minato should be in chakra form like her. How could it be like this? It's a long story, Kushina. Anyway, I was reincarnated from the dirt. Reincarnation of the dirt. Jushinai's beautiful eyes widened. The reincarnation of the unclean soil is a forbidden technique for the 2nd generation. Logically speaking, not many people know it. Who reincarnated you out of dirt? I'm going to beat him up. Kushina roared angrily. In his opinion, the reincarnation of the dirty soil is a blasphemy against the dead, and Naruto world is still not so open to this aspect. Are you mother? Some childish voices sounded. I saw Naruto looking at the angry Kushina with some excitement, eyes full of anticipation. Are you, Naruto? Kushina saw Naruto's yellow hair, and guessed in his heart that this was his son with Minato. Yes, Naruto, this is your mother. When Minato saw the mother and son finally meet, she also had tears in her eyes, and said softly, I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.